Welcome to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, the living legend, emphasis on living, Logan Hurston. I'm joined by my co-host, the gimmick killer, Cooper Prater.
Due to creative differences with the rest of the Strong Style co-hosts, I will be walking out of this program 3 minutes in.
And our other co-host, he is a giant, Mr. Jack Dudley.
Bitch.
Welcome to Strongest Style. It's been a real quiet wrestling week in, news cycle and our lives. Nothing has happened of note. Nothing at all.
Yeah, pretty boring. Pretty boring.
Yeah.
I had a little, as I call it, the Smashing Machine Hospital arc this week, quote unquote. They hooked me up, Cooper. They cut my head open. I'm gonna have a Don.
Who was your Mark
scar.
Coleman? Who intervened?
That was my dad coming in. They called in my dad. If you're wondering why, now we have an official reason of why I miss Mucha Lucha, and that's because I had a super infection and they had to cut my head open, Shibata style, take my brain out, all that good stuff. But we're fine now. And then wrestling decided to explode during the week. That's like, I was in the hospital and it was not the worst news of the week for me. Because you know what the worst news. You want to tell him, Cooper? I don't even want to say it, man. I don't even want to say it.
This man, Logan Hurston, called me like a phone call at approximately 10:30 p.m. and to tell me the news. Which, granted, I understand why he did this now, but to tell me the news, the unfortunate news that our favorite indie promotion as of late, Deadlock Pro Wrestling, would be closing its doors for the foreseeable future after their Showdown and Carry 2 event. I believe they will be doing one other show, and then that will be it for a very, very, very long time, presumably. Maybe ever. So it's rough. We have reviewed a couple of Deadlock shows on this program, and I think we have made it pretty clear how big fans we are of the product that they put out, and they have definitely been the cornerstone, I think, of this latest U.S. indie wrestling boom that's taken place under the last 2-3 years or so. Obviously, there's kind of this triumvirate being built up with them, Prestige and West Coast Pro, and now two of those three are going to be out of business for the remainder of the year and years to come. Prestige obviously coming off of the back of, I believe, their owner going through some tough personal times. But I believe we have not quite gotten a full detailed explanation of why DPW is going to be closing yet from the owners there, the Deadlock Boys. But one imagines that information will be coming soon, probably around the time that their next podcast drops. I know that is a big kind of linchpin of their stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. They're doing something really cool with their last event, which is tickets are going to be just a little over $1, not including the fees from the site that they host it through, and they will be, I believe, they said matching the gate and donating to a local food bank in the North Carolina area. Which is incredibly nice of them to do, and really makes me want to go and support them. But we'll see how that works out with just other stuff going on in our lives. But it would be cool. And yeah, I mean, best of luck to everybody involved in Deadlock, both the three guys that run it, the entirety of their roster, all the crew, the camera people, the folks that got Watch DPW up and running. There's a whole village behind every production, every live production that you go and see has a bare minimum over 20 people working on it, and these shows on this scale take a lot out of the people doing them. It's a great personal investment, both monetarily and just mentally, physically. You cannot half-ass something like that, and you can tell that they haven't due to the quality of the shows. You can really tell that everybody that's there wants to be there and wants to make it something really special, and I think they've more than achieved that in their very short lifespan. So I am very thankful that they have been able to make it as far as they have. They've been able to give a spotlight to a ton of performers that I think are just absolutely incredible, and we're so deserving of that spotlight, and probably wouldn't have gotten it without them. And I just think that the American professional wrestling scene, the professional wrestling scene as a whole, is going to be poorer for not having DPW in it in the foreseeable future. So, Logan, I know you also have a lot of very deep thoughts and feelings about this. Jack, I'm sure you have some thoughts as well. So I'll step back for a bit.
You can talk,
Logan,
Jack.
you go first.
You got it, Jack.
Caroline. Well, I don't have as much to say about U2. I was never I haven't followed the indies closely for a very long time, but it is true that DPW has been probably the more popular indie that I know of the last 4 years. Maybe not quite as successful as some of its contemporaries, but it was a major force, and it was very unique. It was important in sort of shifting the style of the indies. It's something I like to talk about a lot, how I feel like for a long time that PWG over the top spot fest, you could say that negatively or positively, that style was what defined the indies, and that ended up making its way into AEW. It influenced it majorly, and then the indies, they are kind of in a terrible, terrible position right now, but one of the few things that's interesting about it is this shift towards a more grounded, more old school presentation. And DPW did dabble in a whole bunch of things, but I think introducing guys like Connolly, getting people to love these big sort of brawling powerhouses like Tankman and Kozo and guys like that, matches like that was uniquely DPW and is a unique style shift in what the what's contemporary and indie wrestling. I'd say too, they did those Joshi showcases early on too. I remember that. And Priest, obviously, we rag on Priest, but he's that same kind of guy. And I think it's interesting, and I think it's exciting that they sort of led a change in what's happening in these indie wrestling circles. I always get excited to see how trends develop and shift. And I think it's really sad, too, how hard it is to keep an indie promotion going without strong financial backing. It is the case that Tony and Johnny and James are just YouTubers and influencers. They don't have any major sponsors behind them or anyone that sort of took over DPW for them. And so I figure that's all it is. I figure they just can't afford it anymore, and it's a damn shame. There's hardly anything you can do about it or say about it other than just, you wish more people watched and more people paid for it. But besides that, it's it's the state of things, both in indie wrestling with how many people are interested in it these days, which is very little, and even if you want to go even deeper, it's the state of the economy, it's the state of the world. That means
that's absolutely a lot of it.
So it's just sad. It's a sad loss. I did love the DPW that I did watch over the years, and I'm an avid fan of their show. So I hope they keep Deadlock, the brand, running, even with DPW being probably dead. It is very sad. That's all I really have to say about it. Indie wrestling is just in the shitter, boys. It's dying and dying more and more every day. That's all I have to say.
Indie wrestling will never die, but it's definitely in a recession. Like and I was talking to my dad about this too, which like I never do, but I was just like so distraught after. I mean, like it really just it's been a terrible week in my personal life. And I was like, well, at least I have wrestling. And then like I literally like opened Twitter, and you know who I found it out from? Joseph Montecchio.
Oh fuck!
I saw no, and I was like, what? And then I clicked on it, and I was like, no way. Because especially like, I don't know, from the outside looking in, it didn't dawn on me till literally like maybe a day before that like maybe they weren't getting the best attendance, but it seemed like their attendance were pretty solid. And
they seemed like they had a cult following.
Yep.
I mean, they did have a cult following.
Mm-hmm. But I think...
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Within the North Carolina area, for sure.
I just think it depends on how much it costs to run shows in that area. And, like, when you're trying to be, like... And that was one thing I think that set DPW apart from most other indies. It's like certain ones have, like, GCW, like, doesn't have a set look in every arena. Like, it could look completely different on a show-by-show basis because they travel around. Revolver has its own look and stuff like that. But, I mean, like, DPW would go to different venues. They had a lighting guy. They had a guy they would pay for lighting, and that would make the shows look, it didn't matter what arena they were in. It had a very structured, look to it. And a feel and everything, and it was very different than anything else you were getting on the indies. It wasn't trying to be this what is now the super indie type match where it runs for 30 minutes and it's a spot fest and run-ins and stuff like that. It was old school, but in a way that still felt very new generation. They still had some fun.
I would say like in the style conversation. Which is a very important one to have when it comes to DPW. I would classify their stuff less as like old school, but more kind of like revivalist almost.
Yes.
They are picking and choosing what parts of classic ROH, old territory, southern wrestling. To take with them, and also the semi-ironic big move explosion PWG style stuff. They're picking and choosing all of these different aspects and seeing what works and reintroducing them to this new modern audience in a way that builds upon it, right? It's taking the legacy of that stuff and moving it forward, not just doing a bland recreation, which a lot of other promotions before and after them have and will try and fail at.
Yeah, for sure. It had its own unique identity. I love the way the belts looked, like everything, like presentation wise, down to the colors and the look and the feel. You could tell it was a labor of love, and it set itself. It's by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. They took what they liked about a bunch of different promotions, put it into their own. But what I really respected and like what I feel like, especially like stuff like GCW nowadays feels like it gets away from, and a lot of other promotions is they really had their own guys. People they brought up through what was local to them, their local North Carolina shows, and put them on more of a national audience. Not necessarily, again, it's not the biggest audience, but I mean, there's tons of people who watch clips of, this podcast would not exist if the Deadlock podcast existed. That's how me and Noah really became friends, because I started showing him clips. I'm like, this is hilarious. And through that, they were able to put people like Kozone and Priest, who, had been around, had been wrestlers, and had made a little bit of a name for themselves, but actually had, more eyes on them than they ever had before. Tankman had a pretty, steady following. Same, VIF had been around a little bit, but, again, the stock on a lot of these wrestlers, and, even the ones who were signed to, TNA, I think Jake Something's awesome, but, I don't feel like he has become as beloved he was if he wasn't in Deadlock. The same for Danny Luna and other people. And it sucks, too, because it feels like we were, again, it's only 4 years. It feels like they were just getting started, and they had so much more planned, even with, the young guys like Manny Lowe. For me personally, since we've been doing the podcast and, the hiatus in between, the only thing that's, I still watch AEW as often as I can, almost weekly. But the thing that clicks for me the most that I get excited for is, watching DPW and paying the $15. Because I know I'm going to get a good show each time that's going to progress storylines. It's going to, because there's it doesn't have as much. So, because there's not as much content, it can really, every time they have one of those shows, they say that each wrestler just wants to steal the show. They want to put their best foot forward. You never get anybody phoning it in, which I feel like is very hard, especially for a lot of these indies and a lot of them that have, these journeyman wrestlers that, eventually you're going to have a night where you're like, I don't want to put in as much, effort.
Yeah.
Because, it's understandable. Yeah. If you're working, however many days a year, you may not want to go balls to the walls, but it never feels like that, with DPW.
Right.
I will say this. I'm going to try my hardest to be at that final show. I will buy a ticket. That doesn't mean I'll go. And if I can't, somebody will be getting my ticket if it sells out. But I know the way they've set it up is basically all of it's donated to a local food drive. Tickets are going to be $1 plus whatever the Eventbrite fees are. And we've gone to an Eventbrite show. I don't think fees are but $3 or $4. They're not crazy because it's a lot smaller. But you can, I think they're going to add, and why they haven't put it on sale yet, is there's also going to be a donation button. So if you want to pay more than the $1 is for anybody who has never gone to a DVW show or wants to come to a new one or has been and wants to make it out to this one, for the trip. It basically makes it affordable. And then if you can pay more, you could donate however you want, and the Deadlock Boys are going to match the donations up to $10,000. So possibly $20,000 going to the food bank, depending on if they can get, or more, if, depending on how much people donate. And I'm hoping my hope is I'm going to buy the ticket normally and then donate more at the door if we end up going or, on the side. But, I'm either going to be there or I'm going to be taking off the day that thing goes to air on Watch DPW and watching it live, because it is very sad. They still technically have one more show afterwards. They have a Japan show that I think they had already planned, or at least a joint show probably with I forget who they work with. It's either Choco Pro or it's a promotion that Fuminori Abe is in.
Well, in the last Japan show, I know that it was in the Shinjuku Face Arena, but they had some folks from Tokyo Joshi and I believe Choco Pro as well in there. So,
well, they probably already had a partnership planned out and didn't want to cancel on that, if I had to guess. Because again, I'm sure they'll have the show, but it's not going to be as this is it kind of feeling as this one will be, And even then, they can't, a lot of times when they do those Japan shows, they can only send a certain amount of stars over. They're using Japanese stars and I think last time they sent over Kozone, something was there, but he was injured. Kozone, Priest, Tankman, Danny Luna, and VIF, and I think that was it. So, but I mean, even
and
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like the last ones they did the Spirit Rising stuff. They didn't even have commentary for those shows. So yeah, it's particularly shoestring. So
yeah, I tell you what though, I mean, a heck of a run if you're able to, even in 4 years, run a show in Japan is, I mean, that's the dream, right there. So
yeah, I mean, the only real comparison is Ring of Honor. Like that's but and even then I forget if let's see, because Ring of Honor is founded in 2002, and I'm pretty sure their first Japan show is 2005, maybe either 2005 or 2006. I forget. Yeah. So DPW might have ROH beat.
Yeah, probably. I mean, definitely with their connections and stuff like that, they'd definitely be up there for fastest. But yeah, it's just sad news. There's been a lot of outpouring of support, from all the wrestlers and things like that. But there's also, and then at the same time, there's always people being like, the indies aren't dead. They're not. I will say, and I don't think the indies are dead per se. I will say it's something that is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt the indies in the long run, kind of thing. And having a big place like that not able to work, and again, it's going to cut away some of those guys. But again, like, they're all going to find work, I think, still. It'll be interesting to see where all of them go. And I mean, like, you think about it, like, just big names, like, I mean, Javon Evans who is Jay Malachi, would not be signed to WWE if he did not have that DPW run. Same with Saquon Sugars, a.k.a. Lucky Ali. You also, I mean, a lot of those WWE ID guys who are from Kozone's thing, by proxy, wouldn't have work. I don't think, it's hard to say. I don't think Priest would be as frequent in ROH if it wasn't for, it's hard to say because he was involved in action, but, but, yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
You got it.
I'm sorry. No. I'm not going to be the interrupting ass motherfucker. For this. Please.
I didn't think I had a complete thought there, so I'll let you continue.
Oh wow.
Okay. Just going off the dome. Hey, I think that it's not really my place to speculate about individuals' careers and lives and stuff, going forward. I feel kind of uncomfortable doing that. I told you that, Logan, when you had called me the night of, and I'm still not really comfortable doing that. But I will say that DPW and the kind of indie that it is represents I don't think just very important, like a crucial aspect of the wrestling business. Like that, to have a showcase promotion like that that is divorced from the now big two American promotions, somewhere that is sub TV but above your local high school gym, like that is a very important place for talent development. And I mean, like you said, both the big two promotions have already taken notice of what DPW has been doing. There's a reason why Javon Evans is signed. There's a reason why Brian Keith is signed. That is I think an under sung example of a DPW run manifesting in a consistent spot on national television. Those guys are in sort of the perfect place to be. That core roster that they have, it is small by default because it has to be, but that's where the magic happens, is when you're working within your limitations, and it forces you to get really creative with how you spend your show times. What you give preference to in the matches, in your promo segments, in everything, and who you decide to showcase. And yeah, like the kinds of wrestlers that DPW specialized in and showcased are all the better for having that. Like, if we were in 2015, right, instead of 2025, I have a very hard time believing that Brian Keith gets into a program with Chris Jericho. But and you can say all that you want to say about how that planned out. I have plenty to say about how that panned out. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but like that is a measurable benefit to Brian Keith, I think. Personally, financially, whatever. So yeah, like you need these intermediary spaces. That's a lot of my problem with how modern American television wrestling is handling their talent acquisition, is that they're taking these guys too soon. Mm-hmm. They're not giving them time to cook.
That's such a good point. Yeah,
they're still babies. Like, there's no good reason why Jack Cartwheel should be given anything even resembling a developmental contract right now. In my opinion. And that sounds harsh to Jack Cartwheel, and it is. I don't like him very much. but
no, in fact.
Yeah. But I don't doubt that, if maybe given another 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he might be able to become something that I vibe with more, and he might know himself better and be a more attractive prospect to a wider audience. So that's you don't get the main event scenes of today's pro wrestling without ROH and PWG letting these guys lay low for sometimes a full decade even. Kevin Steen had been wrestling for the better part of a decade before he even touched NXT, right? Mm-hmm. So, that's if you lose that aspect of things, I think you're going to see some really diminished returns on the next couple of generations of wrestlers. You're going to have guys who don't know how to take in that special something in a small tight crowd that that does translate, I think, to bigger and bigger crowds. It's just a loss all around. It's a loss for the fans, for the wrestlers, for the companies, like everybody. Nobody benefits from this being gone.
Yeah, I will say, I know I was already mean to do it anyway, but they talked about the big three where they just had that partnership between Prestige, DPW, and West Coast, with West Coast being the only one left by the end of this year.
Yeah.
West Coast does have all of their shows free on YouTube. They stream them live, and they are, and again, that's part of those three, especially they all had their own talent that it does work other promotions, but Starboy Charlie and Titus Alexander were West Coast guys. Those are guys who were built by that promotion and are those guys aces. Absolutely. As much as Kozone and Priest and Tankman are to DPW. And I think West Coast is putting their whole back catalog on YouTube for free because they want.
They did just announce that, yeah.
So I'm sure for the show's sake, that void will probably. I'm gonna try to watch some more West Coast and pay more attention to that and see, because that's, if those who don't know, that's ran by Chris Hero. But it's still just. I mean, it's a monumental loss. It's gonna be something that's gonna. It's the same way as me and Cooper be like, as Jack talks about those 2010s New Japan, and me and Cooper talk about that 2015 to 2019 NXT, man. It's gonna be like those 4 years at DPW, man. Like,
oh sure,
it was something else. It sucks. It sucks. I'm sure we'll get an explanation probably next Sunday on their podcast. I think they specifically dropped this on Sunday night, so the podcast for this week would already be out, so nobody could, they wouldn't be like, "Where's the explanation?" kind of thing. I'm sure it's, again, like, especially with how much they were investing into that, having their, when they started out, they had, they were running a free YouTube show, like, on a weekly. And now, I mean, you have your own streaming service that is on. I mean, their streaming service is better than most wrestling streaming services. You're able to get it on Roku, iPhone. You're able to cast it and stuff like that. It's very easy to use. You're running shows where you're bringing in talent like, Japanese talent. You're bringing in British talent. You're bringing in, some of the best wrestlers of your locally and your indies. It's going to cost a lot of money. I'm sure it was a money thing and a time thing too. Because again, I mean, it is running an indie promotion. You're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for the love of the game, unless you're just doing it's a hot dog and a handshake, brother. And it seemed like, I mean, I don't know how the wrestlers are getting paid, but it seems like I would hope they were getting paid well, because they obviously were excited to come back every time. But I would assume as much, especially from
from the couple of reactions I've seen from DPW regulars, I think they were well taken care of.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to doubt that at all.
I know they helped with Anthony Henry's surgery whenever he first got, and helped him, find a doctor and stuff like that. So they're good lads.
And I believe Jake something too.
Yep, I believe that too. But yeah, it just sucks to see. But I'm excited for whatever that final show is going to be. I'm excited for Showdown and Carry 2 to air next week, because I really want to see what Kozone and something looks like. That was been a dream match of mine for a while, and so when it first got announced, I was like, yay! And then now I'm like, oh, I realized why it got announced so soon. But yeah, sucks. But I'm very interested to see what that final card's gonna look like. If they're gonna do a normal show, or they're gonna go like balls to the walls, crazy. I'm sure it's gonna be a mix, and bring in like everyone who's isn't signed by a major company who's touched DPW at this point, because those shows,
I'm sure it'll be cool.
The anniversary shows, at least the second and the third anniversary, were both some of their best shows ever. With last year being Kozone beating Priest. Oh, I love that so much. But we'll move on. Let's get into more exciting stuff. AEW, it's a very chill news week for them too.
Yeah. Famously, they have been very restrictive about their announcements in recent years. So the shows this week from AEW I thought were broadly fine, right? But the stuff surrounding the shows, I think, has been far more interesting this particular week.
We had 2 instances of the dumbest drama you will have ever heard in your life.
Yeah, I can't.
It's true.
It's true what you said, Logan. It should be a nothing week.
Yeah.
But for some reason,
I've been forced to learn the names of at least 3 different people that I never should know the names of.
Yeah.
In the past week due to AEW.
It's funny because I thought at least Dynamite and it seemed like Collision were both of them were like, not like, oh, the great show, but like pretty solid nights of action with the whole Eliminators,
Yeah, it was fine TV wrestling, yeah.
Well, with the whole like blood and guts stuff, I thought it was very good structure for the TV. With the
yes, it absolutely was.
But yeah,
the actual programming itself, I thought really benefited from this advantage kind of thing that they've been going on. Each show had, I believe, 3 matches from both the men's and women's Blood and Guts teams facing off in singles action, and it was a best of 3 kind of situation. So whoever team won 2 out of the 3 matches would get the advantage in the Blood and Guts matches later on. Yeah. So, and those I thought played out really, really well. For the most part, I didn't watch one of those matches, which we'll get to, I guess, when it comes up. But
I only watched the Dynamite one, so you'll have to fill me in for the Collision minute.
Okay, yeah, I watched 2 of the Collision ones.
Okay,
I'll say that. So, but before all of this, though, before we get into the actual programming, chronologically speaking, the big AEW news that happened this week was one, Mr. Anthony Khan, I believe accompanied by Tony Schiavone, went live on Twitter, as he is wont to do, and announced to the world that AEW would be getting that one thing that all of us sickos have been clamoring for months now, which is a brand new title. And if there's one thing that I have heard day in and day out ever since they merged the international and the continental into the unified belt was, man, I miss having another belt. And
not even that, but miss specifically having the international championship.
a championship with the word national in it. Yes, that's what I needed.
Yes.
Yeah. And so he announces this. It is largely met with groans and sighs, but no real animosity that I saw. Mostly just people like myself who were like, okay, man, sure. Look, it is well known, I feel at this point, that Tony just really likes belts. Like he just fucking loves them and just wants to have a bunch on his show that all signify different things and stuff like that. You can say whatever you want to say about how that affects the programming, but he just has his particular predilections that are going to make it through, and a lot of belts is one of those things. I'm sure they'll find a way to make it work decently for the first month maybe of its existence, and then it'll fade away into something on match number 2 of a pay-per-view that between whoever and whoever, that'll be fine. But nobody will care about it in I'm going to give it about a month. Yeah, I think that's safe. But they're going to have a casino gauntlet for it at Full Gear. I know that, to determine the inaugural champion, which is fine. I like casino gauntlet matches, and that seems about as fair as any way to determine a brand new belt. But so you might have noticed, though, the name of this belt is the national title.
Yes. Tony
Khan, in his initial thing, and AEW in their initial press release for this, seemed pretty convinced that they were bringing back the NWA national title from Georgia Championship Wrestling, from from the belt that Buzz Sawyer and as MVP said in his promo, the iconic Nikita Koloff had all held. And I don't know if Tony Khan's a smart guy. I know he pays attention to a lot of wrestling. I know he watches DPW. I assume though that maybe he doesn't watch the NWA because if he had, he would have known that for like a long while now, they have also had a revived national title. I remember when the NWA first started doing those power shows, like their little like YouTube studio wrestling shows, back in like 2020 something, that they had like, I think James Storm might have been like the first initial holder of the revived national title. So like, you know, that kind of took their mid-card belt place for a while, and it has been for, you know, the better part of like 5 years now. So I don't know where these streams got crossed, where Tony Khan thought that maybe they had given up on that, or if he didn't know that they had even started it to begin with. But regardless of how that whole thing came about, the NWA sure let him know about it pretty quick after, because the current NWA national champion, a fella by the name of Mike Mondo, who is number one in the list of names that I never should have to know, but was forced to learn through all of this. Mike Mondo, for the uninitiated, this is Mikey from the Spirit Squad.
Are you?
Cooper?
No, I had no idea until just now.
Cooper, can I read this tweet out in Mike? And what I would only assume,
please do,
is Mike Mondo's voice. I'm looking at the specific. I want the specific wording because he just has retweeted so much stuff since then. Let me be.
I bet he has.
And I want to let you know there is a lot of all caps in this message, and he is very.
Please don't peek.
He's very angrily pointing at the national title, looking like he's about to explode off of roids. Let me be clear. There's only one NWA, and there's only one prestigious national championships that holds legit lineage and has for decades. So that Tony Khan or anyone else confused, here's the legit title with the company it belongs to and the legit national champion. And then in all caps, my name is Mike Mondo. And he's bald.
It's a good plug at the end.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he wasn't like that. I will say that's fair. You know, it is the true title.
Sure. Out of all these people, he has the most reason to be pissed off.
Well, not to get too pedantic and nerdy on here, but the funniest part about this to me is that that's not the NWA national title, really. It's the same belt. It's the same belt, but okay. The NWA national title, the real one that Tony Khan is talking about. This is very Noah Phillips of me, by the way.
Yeah, please divulge.
Yeah, the NWA National Championship, the original one, was unified in 1986, I think, with the United States Championship, which still exists today. So the real actual lineage still carries into the WWE United States Championship now. The one that Mondo holds is a bullshit reimagining that they did in 1997 when the NWA was trying to exist again. And around that same time, shortly after, but around the same time when ECW bitched them out and said that nobody cared anymore, and it was true. And it's true still, 25 years later. So Mondo's championship is no more legit than this one, except I guess that it looks the same. But it's not the same belt. It's not the same title. I mean, it's the same belt. It's not the same title.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that though. The NWA does claim the lineage for it still. I believe
It's not real.
On the Wikipedia page, he is included in the lineage. But yeah, well, the NWA as an organization is not the NWA of old, barely. Anything that can be bought by Lightning One. I don't think is the same as the organization that the Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat packed in the Greensboro Coliseum for. So the Mike Mondo, God bless his soul, is the most reasonably aggrieved, I feel, but yeah, I mean, when you're going so hard for the NWA, just period, but one of their belts specifically, I think maybe we might have lost the plot a little bit, but he was not the only person from the National Wrestling Alliance who was aggrieved by Mr. Khan. Logan, do you have the other tweet, perhaps? From our new character.
I know his name. I do not have it pulled up. He has been on an absolute tirade on Twitter. So
this guy seems like he's really mad.
He's also been named in the Speaking Out movement in the past. So
I was about to get to that. Yes. Because somebody told Kevin Blackwood that, and Kevin Blackwood said, "Oh, really?"
He's also a huge Smashing Pumpkins mark because he is constantly retweeting the Smashing Pumpkins account. That's probably why he's such a big NWA guy.
Well, I did. Okay, so I did learn about this. By the way, we're talking about a guy called Brian Idol. Okay, I don't know if he has any relationship, real or kayfabe, with Austin Idol, who was also on NWA programming, but so Brian Idol is some fucking guy, just some jobber ass motherfucker that I've never heard of in my entire life until like last week, but apparently he is both a performer. And also, I learned this week that he's also apparently part of the office for NWA in some capacity. So that also maybe explains, A, why he's retweeting Smashing Pumpkins, and B, why he is going so hard in the paint for this. But yeah, Logan, did you happen to find?
I found the first tweet, yes. Smart marks say, and he does not know how to use quotations very well, the NWA sucks. No one is watching. The smart mark fed, which is, I would assume he was referring to AEW. We are going to have the NWA National Championship Tournament. WTF? There's only one NWA. Don't be fooled by imitators. He does not use spaces after his periods. Stick to the hands, double space, in the pocket wrestling. That's what you did. That was original. This is some of the worst writing I've ever heard as a journalist.
Oh, his grammar is really, it kind of, depending on your perspective, maybe it's advanced. Maybe we'll like something like this in a couple of years. Who knows?
He apparently is saying that multiple wrestling promotions are using the NWA for relevance in the same week. Does that mean that we're winning way more than anyone is given credit for? And then he added the Ringside News and he said, "Quote me on this, please." Do you want the Tony Khan tweet specifically? Is that the one you're thinking of? The Tony, this is beneath you. Stick to what made you famous.
Please do that one.
Tony, this is beneath you. Stick to what made you famous. Small, weird hands in the pocket wrestlers and other local VFW guys that you put in main events. ...
Okay. Hey, pause. The concept of an NWA wrestler talking about local VFW guys in a negative context is wonderful. Continue.
He just said, "Stop being petty, bro." That's how he ended it. And I mean, he said Tony Khan is Richie Rich, and he's not enough. He's bought his own way in. Now he's got to steal legacies. Unreal. He did tweet about Austin Idol and saying he was the first national championship and still active in the NWA, but he didn't say he was related or not. So maybe he's a fake idol.
Stolen valor, as far as I'm concerned. I like Austin Idol.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't even want to read any more of this guy's tweets, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you because, as you mentioned previously, the other thing I learned about Brian Idol is that he was named in the Speaking Out movement for an incident that we will not get into the details of on this podcast. Just know that it is bad and gross, and that I wish all the best for the person that accused him of said things. Yeah, really rough week for the old National Wrestling Alliance, but really, when isn't it a rough week to be them? You spend all your time rubbing up to Tyrus, and then he ditches you for a Fox News gig, and then you decide to put the belt on Mikey from the Spirit Squad, and then suddenly your whole world falls out from under you, it's very strange. Yep. It's very strange. I just find it very hard to believe in my heart of hearts that Anthony Khan gives that much of a shit about the NWA, that he would intentionally rip their lineage for this new title that he made up.
Yeah, he's not going to claim. Like, he's just saying that in the past they've had a lineage. You know what's funny about all this stuff? I didn't see the announcement before watching Dynamite. So I heard Tony Schiavone say national champion, and I just thought they were bringing in some like NCAA wrestler or something. I had no idea. Also, Mr. Brian Idol's former name. Do you know what his former name was before he was Brian Idol?
Why would I?
Earl Cooter. And he is claiming that he is innocent from the allegations that have been thrown against him because David Bixenspan said he was innocent. So, who is currently protected on Twitter, and a wrestling journalist that I have not seen in years because I think he was the one that got like in trouble for a certain allegations being thrown against. But
oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a dirty, nasty industry.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's all collectively agree to never speak about this again.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. You wanted to talk about the national title, bro.
I mean, it's news. It is news.
It is
news. MVP, gave maybe the worst promo of the year about it on Dynamite. So, I had to address it in some way.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, also, the concept of this national title, as devised by Tony Khan, is that this will be a traveling championship, that it will fulfill kind of a role similar to what eagle-eyed AEW fans will remember as the old All-Atlantic title, what that was supposed to do, which was be toured around the world and defended around the world against a variety of international opponents. This kind of really only happened like a couple of times with Pac when he first won it. But then very quickly the belt just became, integrated into normal AEW programming as a second mid-card belt. And, then they obviously do the merger thing. And I guess they still just like the idea of having this traveling championship that can go around to all of their international partners. And so I've seen some folks kind of doing some fantasy booking with, maybe some CMLL wrestlers holding it, maybe some New Japan wrestlers holding it, and I think that is all very optimistic about how this title is going to be used.
That's what I was about to say, Cooper. And I'm not saying this. I will be speaking later on as a bitter New Japan fan, but I'm not saying this as a bitter New Japan fan. I'm saying this very genuinely. That this kind of championship, this concept, it never happens. It does not. It's not going to work out. It's really too hard logistically. I truly believe that, and there is no way that this title is going to stay with this as its primary gimmick for more than like a few months. There's just no way. It never works. New Japan said the same thing when they introduced the Global, and they never even tried to do it once.
That's right.
I guess they just made it up.
Well, they gave it to
Dolph Ziggler. They gave it to Dolph Ziggler, and they thought that was close enough. They were like,
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Dark
but
times.
No, it's just too hard. Like, as close as AEW and New Japan and Stardom and CMLL have become, it's way too much to consistently ask your partners to put one of your belts on their TV. The most I can see is that this is a belt that's like consistently defended at the resurrected New Japan of America shows that are coming. That is like.
But that's going to die in less than a year anyway, so why bother?
Well, you don't know.
Also,
You don't know. Maybe Takeshita wins this belt and takes the New Japan and unifies it with the IWGP, and so they have to defend it. They have to, Jack. No, just kidding. Look.
He has to defend it every 2 months.
I have a couple things to say on this belt. One, Orange Cassidy didn't die for this. I can't believe we had to go from the great, in my opinion, my favorite, other than the World Heavyweight Championship and the Women's Championship, the greatest AEW belt in the international title, to this. And like the lineage of that, an actual good lineage, original to, I swear too, if it looks anything similar to the NWA national title.
Oh, it's going to have the continental United States on it. Don't you worry.
If it has the giant, where it's just the United States in gold.
I don't think that'll be the only element, but it is going to be there.
This will be, they already confirmed it's going to be defended on the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So, the one thing is, after watching all those Ring of Honor matches where they defended the FIP belt, I was like, this would be kind of cool. I want it to be an AEW belt that I never see on AEW TV. That's what I would like. I would like.
That's not what I want.
Yes.
I do not want that shit.
Shut up, Jack. Shut up. I want to see it defended a bunch in Ring of Honor. I want to see, and then like every once in a while on a collision and stuff like that. I want this person who holds the belt be forced to travel throughout the world and then eventually come back to TV. To like they have to earn their way back. Whoever, I don't care if it's Jon Moxley, he has to earn his way back on TV by going around the world and defending it. Then he can defend it on TV. Like I want to see it. I want some CMLL guy to hold it for like 6 months. Of CMLL, we never see it. I want some New Japan guy to hold it for a couple months. I like give it to Ishii. He already has the strong belt. He can merge them too. They should just give it to Goto. Actually, don't you think that's a great idea, Jack?
No. I think it's a bad idea.
What if Yoshihashi won it?
That would be funny. I'd actually like that. I can say that.
Cooper would never want that belt back if Yoshihashi won it. He could keep it.
Yeah, because it would be radioactive.
He could keep it. But like
he would have.
I like the idea of
I don't think it's a.
Sorry. I like the idea of a prize to everyone at a bunch of the partners, but it's going to be so bad. It's going to be forgotten so quickly.
It's just like I said, it's just too difficult to get other people to book around your championship. Mm-hmm. Especially, CMLL and New Japan, who have 5 million belts to already feature consistently on their shows.
Half of which they don't even care about,
Right. Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't use CMLL as an example for that, but yeah.
No, but they do still have championship matches on the undercard of Friday shows pretty often. I guess it doesn't matter to them though. It's a fair enough.
Yeah.
On what you said earlier, Logan, I don't know if Ishii is our guy anymore.
He's still contracted.
We got him. We got him.
We got him.
He is.
Okay, I know we don't talk WWE, but I have to mention this. John Cena won the Intercontinental belt tonight. And in this, which who cares? But in the spirit of DPW, Javon Evans and Gunther are wrestling on Raw next week. So,
that's cool. That's exciting.
As much as we hate them and we're not going to watch it, Cooper, you got to admit that's a cool match.
Sure.
He's trying his hardest.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not really. I don't really give a fuck about that. I haven't given a fuck really about Javon Evans or Gunther or Walter or whatever the fuck for a while.
This is also soon to become a FIP podcast because I got like 6 FIP tapes in. But sadly, I think much like old PWG tapes, I'm certain there's canceled people on it.
Oh, 1,000. Dude, it's going to be like PWG times 10 probably.
No, I think
Florida 2000s independent scene. Are you kidding me?
There's one guy I specifically I saw the name and I'm like, I only know you because I'm pretty sure you were called out in the Speaking Out movement, but you know. But hey, Shingo is wrestling on one of these tapes, so
that's pretty cool.
That's kind of crazy. But yeah. And Danielson's pretty cool, guys. We like him. Did you see the
that's fine.
Stick with the AEW stuff? Did you see the AEW Thanksgiving ad on Twitter today?
I have not yet. I saw that they posted it, but I was in a coffee shop when I saw it, and I couldn't.
Well, then I won't say anything.
I have intended to. Yeah, I did see the conglomeration arrive to a household.
Yes,
and that was very nice.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, very good. I like this new marketing push that AEW has been making by just having like these oddly well-produced little commercials, like the Office one.
Yes,
from a while back. That was really great. So yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Well, let's quickly run down the AEW TV this week, other than we haven't even gotten into the other controversy. We've been talking about this national title thing.
Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
All right, but let's go on Dynamite real quick. I thought it was pretty solid Dynamite. Not like the best ever, but not the worst. I really enjoyed the Claudio match, and Claudio Orange. I thought the finish was very good. I
loved that Claudio match. That's a match of the year.
That is a match of the year. I thought Garcia gave his best performance in a long, long time against Darby.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably my favorite Garcia match since the Moxley series. Mm-hmm. This Death Riders version of him, I think, still needs a little bit of work. But he's got some pep in his step. You can tell.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, I just still thinking of the Claudia match. It was very funny because I was watching that in the hospital and I was like, well, at least Orange maybe can win. And that'll brighten my day.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you poor summer child.
Samoa Joe tried to kill Tony Schiavone. That was pretty cool. I liked that a lot. Cooper's favorite wrestler got a big win. Harley Cameron and Willow defeated Athena and Mercedes Moné. How do you feel about that, Cooper? That's very controversial with the Twitter people.
I'm very happy for Willow Nightingale.
Athena and Mercedes didn't need the belts, and I think at least Willow and
the people complaining about this from Athena and Mercedes should have won and been the tag champs, State of Mind. I think those people are insane, quite frankly. What about those two individuals made you think that this would last any longer than a match?
Yeah. on top of that too, people were like, Athena buried. It's like she got hit by 2 finishers, bro. It's fine, whatever. It's a tag.
She was as protected as you could possibly be in this match.
Yep. And there was multiple run-ins and all this stuff. I mean, like, come on, guys. As you mentioned, MVP gave a promo of the year. The national title ball.
Which then led into a continued Ricochet promo. So we're continuing the demand and the Hurt Syndicate thing. Still, I'm really over this. I'm so done. I'm so done. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I do just Ricochet as national champion, and we just send him as a Rudo heel to other promotions would be kind of funny.
That'd be pretty fun.
We had in my Dynamite moment of the year, which is Brody King busting through a wall and grabbing Stokely Hathaway in like the most cartoonish way possible. Did you see the edit of it where they put God's hate behind it whenever he busted through?
Oh no,
it was so good, bro.
I watched that and I like kind of like jumped in my bed. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
That's King's arm.
His arm is so it looks so massive too.
It's the size of Stokely's head, is what it is.
Did you see this, Jack?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
I need to see if I can like find a GIF of it or something.
Yeah, please find the. What?
This is like, and I'm not exaggerating, one of my favorite things, maybe in wrestling ever.
The face that Stokely's making is just so incredible. The fact that he was ever on any kind of hiatus is a damn shame.
Yep, I'm trying to see if I can...
I assume you're hard at work, Logan.
Oh, I am. So you can continue this with the Mina match in the main event while I try to find this.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't have too much to say about either of those matches because I was sort of barely paying attention to them. Yeah, the Mina Megan Bayne one, that was, fine enough. I like Mina in what she's been doing in AEW so far. I do feel like they are kind of they think maybe slightly too high of her in comparison to what she can realistically do. But she had a good match with Megan here. As we later learned, recently disgruntled Megan Bayne. So maybe that lit a fire under her to try to put the nail in Mina just a little bit more. So yeah. I mean, and the main event I thought was also pretty fine. It was not really helped necessarily. No, not the pacing of all the show was not really helped by the presence of said match of the year earlier with Orange and Claudio. But we can forgive that maybe. I will say I did like the presence of Eddie here. This has been my preferred use of Eddie since his return. I feel like they have really missed the boat on a potential Kingston Death Riders thing, but deciding to pair him with Hook. I understand the reasoning for it, and I understand also maybe him personally wanting to take maybe more of a backseat to push in this other guy. Eddie has famously been incredibly hard on himself in his own career. But man, I thought, his role in this was really kind of perfect. And I didn't even mind the Hook stuff in this either. So, yeah, it's a decent little trios defense match. But at the end of the day, it is kind of still a trios defense match in the main event. So yeah. Even if it is to build up to this big rematch for Full Gear, there's only so much investment that I can give in it. So
yeah, for sure. Are you seeing it, Jack?
I'm what?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is whole Three Stooges shit. That's
The freeze frame of Brody's arm being punched through in the tweet is like insane. I thought this main event was fun. Awesome. I'm excited for Hobbs and Hanger this week, and all I gotta say is rack 'em. Yeah. And it is interesting for Hook too, because like they're using him more, but he's tapped out each week to the ops. He's supposed to be like, I'm gonna take you down, but he tapped out to Joe and he tapped out to Hobbs here. So
yeah, I mean Hook's problem, and this has been his problem for a while now, is it's this conflict of what he wants to be and what he is. He wants to be his dad, but he is just a little boy, and so there's only so much that you can really do with that. He's too skinny. He's too pretty. Like I don't know what you do with him really.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But yeah. Well, then we go on to
oh dear Lord, what now?
I'm just sitting more
a cartoon. He's in a funny cartoon.
More cartoons.
That's awesome. I hadn't seen that.
Yeah. Then we go on to Collision, which I have not watched. Cooper, did you collide this week?
Yes, I did. It's the Collision Minute, baby.
Woo!
If nobody's watching Collision, I'm dead. I'll tell you that much.
I did want to watch, but it was either that or Japanese wrestling, and I'm like, I need to watch. I haven't watched Japan in a while, a lot of the other promotions, and I re-upped Wrestle Universe for a month, so.
That's nice. In some ways, I wish that I did that, but in other ways, I very much wish that I didn't. Because this also had a match of the year on it, by the way. I'll tell you that.
Ooh.
Yeah. These are the things that happen when you watch the show that nobody else has watched. you get all these scoops. So this edition of AW Collision, the best paced professional wrestling show on American television. This started off with a classic tag match that we have seen some iteration of before, what many people have said was the best match in Collision's history, but this time it's with slightly different pairings. FTR versus the Bang Bang Gang. This time there was the team of Juice Robinson and Austin Gunn instead of Juice and Jay White, obviously, who is still injured, but is he? But isn't he? Maybe, possibly, depending on the day, how much he feels like trolling people on Twitter. But this was really fun. This was pretty classic. Tag team stuff from FTR. Obviously, FDR have this match with Brodito coming up at the pay-per-view, and the kind of consensus was that this would be a walk in the park for them. But the Bang Bang Gang, and particularly this mismatched pairing of the Bang Bang Gang, really gave it to him, and in the end, picked up a surprise win. And yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting way to go, and I'm very curious as to how they will proceed with this, if at all. They had some more stuff with them later on too in the big TNT title match, which included Ace Austin. But yeah, the choice to have your number one contenders just straight up lose was pretty funny, I thought. It was kind of, there was a theme throughout the show of upsets, which I thought was interesting. I don't know that this came in next in the actual show order, but on the YouTube order, which is what I'm going off of, this is next. It is that TNT title match that I had mentioned earlier, a defense from Kyle Fletcher against Ace Austin. This was incredible. This is the other match of the year that occurred this week on AEW. Man, like I have been kind of waiting for Ace Austin to have like a real like proper standout performance. He had that opening kind of showcase with Ricochet when he first came in, and that was fine. And then he just kind of sat on the bench for a while, and then they slowly started reintegrating him with the Bang Bang Gang stuff, which I mean was sort of the most obvious thing that you could do. And he is very talented. I don't know why it kind of took them so long to figure out what to do with him. But yeah, I mean, and I preferred him in the singles thing than I did in the couple of tags that they'd had him doing before this. He works a really good sort of babyface to Kyle Fletcher's heel here. And Fletcher, for his bit of praise that I'll give him for this too, I think has evolved past the kind of need for a pop that I think some of his early stuff, since he has been in this Don Callis kind of mode, has suffered from. He's always been great, but I think he sometimes, despite his better instincts, still wants to get the crowd to like see a cool thing that he can do. Whereas this one, it felt like more like he was denying that and really, building up the support for Ace Austin. Ace Austin got a lot of like really big cheers here, and I don't necessarily think it was from stuff that he was doing, but from just how detestable Kyle was. So that's a really great thing to do, and he pushed him to the limit for it. But Kyle then eventually hit the brain buster with several A's and an H on the end, and got the win over Ace. So yeah, great match. Absolutely check that out if you get a chance. We had so I'll preface this and say the match was fine. You should probably watch it. Jamie Hayter versus Sky Blue, one of these advantage spots in Blood and Guts. And that's you can look up the results if you want, but let's just say that there was another match that was contingent on the result of this one, that if Sky Blue had won would not have happened, but that other match did happen, so you can imagine how I feel. But, speaking of that match, this is the one that I didn't watch because, respectfully, I'm not trying to watch Harley Cameron minutes right now. Harley Cameron versus Tekla. I like Tekla a lot, but I mean, I anticipated some puppets going on, like it's Harley. I struggle with Harley these days. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade too much, but man, it is not my thing. It's not for me. But that's fine though, because then this next match, your main event for the evening, was very much for me. I am talking about the last in our Blood and Guts Advantage series, Jon Moxley, leader of the Death Riders, global terrorist, some might say, against the world's most deadly dad, Roderick Strong. I love this match. This was awesome. Roddy was so just seeing him work largely heel for like the past week with that Stevens series. Him working face against Moxley was like, I don't know, like a just breath of fresh air. And the variations of backbreakers that he hit one across upturned steel steps later on in the match, that was kind of decisive, and really the finishing blow to Moxley here. Death Riders tried a bunch of shenanigans, obviously, but really none of them ended up mattering all that much. Both because Moxley kind of got too in his own head here. Obviously, we've been playing off the theme of Moxley not wanting to submit again, and but the downside of that is that he seems to be getting too confident and trying to win too quickly. He hits a lot of his big moves like pretty early on in this match, and they don't keep Roddy down because he hasn't worked him enough, really. And so at this point, then integrating the Death Riders just makes things even more messy and complicated for him. So at one point, Roddy is on the outside, and he hits that backbreaker over the steel steps, like I had said, and that gets Mox down for a long, long time. The ref starts counting, and Roddy slides back into the ring, no problem. Death Riders are still on the outside. I think Pac at this point has come out to try to even push the numbers advantage further into the Death Riders' favor. Marina Shafir, I think, tries to interfere first. She is really getting on Roddy's nerves, which I think Nigel and Tony on commentary had some fun with, seeing as they would go home together later. But then Kyle O'Reilly came out to try to help Roddy out there, and he's like jaw-jacking with Marina and Wheeler Yuta. Danny Garcia comes out, takes a really like picture perfect table bump. Roddy just uranagis him straight through a table on the outside. It was not really a factor much at all. And then Pac comes out. So the ref's counting. Roddy's in the ring. Moxley is still crawling on the outside. He gets pretty close. He's like at maybe like 7. Mox gets up to the ring apron, is on the cusp of rolling back in, but then the camera zooms down by Moxley's feet, and a tattooed hand is grabbing his ankle from underneath the apron, keeping him from entering the ring, and Mox gets counted out and loses this decisive match for Blood and Guts later. And of course, that was Darby Allin underneath the ring, keeping Mox at bay. And yeah, that wasn't the only thing that Darby had planned tonight, because he also brought his handy dandy little cattle prod and shocked Pac, and then the rest of the Death Riders scattered. So yeah, I thought this was a really fun hour or so of wrestling. With a couple of minor booking stuff that I wasn't super hot on in the middle of the show. I thought the beginnings and ends were just good enough to make me really enjoy it. So yeah, that was Collision for you. And my bad. There was also a little showcase here for Megan Bain and Marina Shafir, this new thrown together team. No, my bad. I'm mixing my stuff now because so much has happened in the course.
You're thinking of last week
of the story. I am thinking of last week. Yes. There was a showcase for TJ, for Tay Mello and Anna Jay, against some local enhancement talent, that being Maya World, who I've heard a little bit about on the independent scene, and Hyon, DPW regular. who we have raved about in our Super Battle review, I remember, from that tag match on that show. So this was pretty quick. It was, about 3 minutes. And TJ got the one. And so, think nothing of it. It's it's fine. However, the news comes out later on that apparently it was not originally supposed to be Maya World and Hyon that TJ faced in this match. Apparently, initially it was supposed to be the team of Nixon Newell and Miranda Elise, who were on last week's edition of Collision, taking on the team of Miriam Shafir and Megan Bain. So last week was Newell and Elise's Collision debut, their AEW debut as a whole. They had a promo segment beforehand introducing themselves and what they were about. Their match also was a squash, completely and utterly last week. Not even a particularly memorable one, I thought. But, whatever. I don't think about it for the rest of the week. And then, so this match happens. And so the story is that Newell and Elise were set to have this match and saw on the run sheet, apparently, that it was going to be 3 minutes, and they had wanted a more competitive match against TJ. They thought that just having them get no offense in and get squashed in 3 minutes would be no good to anybody. And then AEW told them, that's fine, feel free to leave. And then they did. And the reactions to this news coming out since then have been wide and varied, although not too wide or too varied, because most of them seem to focus on how silly of a request that was from the team of Nixon Newell and Miranda Elise. I mean, like, and the thing is, like, Nixon Newell is a name, certainly, to somebody. She's a name to me.
Yes.
Because I watched WCPW when that first came out. But that was also like over a decade ago. And
it was.
I'm the same way.
Shockingly similar situation to DPW, by the way.
Yes, very, very much. And, like, respectfully, that era of the British scene is dead and gone. The handful of people who were ever going to be a big name coming out from that are big names already. Your Zack Sabre Jr.'s, your Will Ospreays. That's about it, really. Drew Galloway, maybe, I guess, Drew McIntyre. But nobody else really came out from that looking all that great. And then Nixon spent like I forget even how long, like 6 years maybe, under WWE contract.
Ungodly amount of time.
Yes, she was brought in for the Mae Young Classic, I remember, and I think got injured in that tournament, in her like first match, like tore her knee, and that kind of plagued her for the rest of her WWE career, certainly. Gets released, then gets brought back when the Triple H kind of honeymoon period of, I'm going to bring back everybody that got released, and, aren't I so nice? I listen to you internet fans. I know who Tegan Knox is, all that sort of thing. And then he didn't do anything with her for the entire time that she got brought back, and then she got released again earlier, I think, or later last year, in 2024 maybe. Apparently she has not been up to all that much since then. I've learned since apparently she has, like, on her Twitch streams or something, said that she has been having some trouble getting booked lately, which, like, is tough. Certainly, I'm not going to deny that. But, like, I think that we are entering this phase now, with AEW being a thing, where just being a former WWE wrestler is not enough to sustain any kind of presence in wrestling post WWE for anybody. You truly do have to be a name to do that, or if you're not a name, you have to work extra hard and really bust your ass to get those bookings. And it appears as though that did not go so hot for Nixon Newell. And then she gets this AEW enhancement gig, which, like, is not ideal, certainly, for anybody, but it's what you do. When you're in that situation, you have an enhancement thing, you do a couple of those, maybe you do a good enough job, enough people like you backstage, you get enough crowd pops in your 3 minutes or more or less, and they think about bringing you back later. That's kind of how it worked for Willow Nightingale, for Sky Blue, for a bunch of folks in AEW right now who spent a long time just getting squashed and being somebody you would see, like, every couple of weeks when they pass by a certain town. And like, that's just kind of how you play the game. It is very audacious, I think is the word that I would use, to be in that position and to request more time. More power to them, I suppose. But it seems as though perhaps that AEW is a door that has maybe closed for the team of Nixon Newell and Miranda Elise. It seems.
Okay, this is my question. Okay, Miranda Elise, right?
Yes.
She was she in Ring of Honor for a while? What do I know her name from?
I have never heard of Miranda Elise until this week.
Okay. Because I was, like, very confused on, like, I'm like, I swear, like, I've heard of her before, whatever. Hey, shout out Hyan and My World, who worked double that and Ring of Honor. This is what all I got to say on it. I don't care how much of a star you are. What's her name? Isla Dawn, who was much better positioned in WWE than Nixon was, and the way less time, who was a women's tag team champion. Yeah. She got squashed by Megan Bayne on Collision in Scotland, and has now since worked with, and now it's since worked Ring of Honor dates with the GYV lads and stuff like that. And, like, it's crazy that they would complain after they basically sandbagged Megan Bayne last week. Because that...
Yeah, the Megan Bayne match was not very good.
Well, that, and then there was reports of frustration on Bayne's end and, like, stuff like that. Or at least, I don't know how much backstage reports are, but yeah. I know Joey Janela was tweeting about it recently, about, like, a lot of this stuff. And, like, I understand nobody's happy when they don't have a lot of time, but, like, you're not signed to the company. You're not going back to WWE.
Yeah.
Like, this is an opportunity for you. for the second week in a row. They're obviously building you up and letting you get a promo. But TJ is a team that has been there since day one and are definitely favorites for this tournament. As much as you may not want them to be, this is a team that has a good chance of winning these titles, And so it's like, yeah, you may lose, but that doesn't mean anything. There's a number of AEW. There was a good point. Powerhouse Hobbs' first match was getting squashed by Orange in 5 seconds to an Orange punch. And then look at him now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. Apparently, Nixon says she only has 1 year left in wrestling, so she's just trying to have fun. If that's her mindset, if she's like, I'm just trying to go out and have long, fun matches in the indies, I don't really care about being on TV, then sure, if you want to burn that bridge, that's fine. I actually don't mind that, and I don't think she was that bad about it. I understand you want to have more time, but if you're planning on staying in wrestling for another 5-10 years, then what she did is stupid. If you're doing 1 more year, sure, It doesn't matter. You don't really need to be on AEW TV anyway, because you wouldn't get much out of it, So maybe a Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it seems like. Yeah, it seems like she is kind of maybe her mind is on other things at this point, which hey, totally valid. Wrestling sucks from everything that I hear. Mentally, physically, it does not seem like a very fun time. To be a wrestler, unless you're at the top of your game or something. So I certainly do not blame her at all for wanting to prioritize her own enjoyment in this limited time that she has left in the wrestling business. But I do think if you find yourself in that position to begin with, I think that it would behoove you to hold up your end of the bargain, essentially, right? You have come to this town. I don't think that her and Randall Lees live in Texas, although I could be wrong. But you have come to this town. You've come to this TV taping. To work this match. That was what you and I assume Tony Khan agreed upon, and then whatever. So we can't all be, I guess, the third level British indie stars of a decade ago.
Yeah, for sure. I think that is there anything else to say about the before we move on, fly to the island of Japan? Because I have some fun news before we.
No, I'm all done with my collision minute.
While you were doing your collision minute, I was scrolling through Twitter because I was on, and I saw something that for the whole month of November, Black Friday sale. The token shop, 30% off, which basically means you get your $35 normal tees cost $25. So, okay. And I did just buy 3 tees, and I cannot.
Are you serious?
I'm gonna let you. I want you to guess. I bought 2 wrestler tees and a faction tee.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna see if there's a Fale shirt.
No, there's not. There's not. I actually bought an older. I did buy a House of Torture design. I bought an older one. I bought the IWGB Executive Committee House T-shirt.
That's my shirt.
And I bought that because I was like, me and you are gonna be matching.
That is a really.
I am thinking about buying you the "See You Next Effing Time" shirt for Christmas, Jack.
I love that shirt, but I don't think that's on Tokon Shop. That's on Sonata.
It is.
Oh, it is? Fuck. Okay.
I bought...
Dude, oh my... Holy shit. I haven't looked at the house. I'm sorry.
You're good. Yeah, it's just going to be a scrolling and looking at T-shirts. I bought the Fujita Best of the Super Juniors 32 shirt because it's a really good design, and I have Despy's one. And then I saw it, and I thought it was so funny, and we've talked about this before, that I'm like... I have to wear this in front of you guys. I bought the Gabe Kid Kinsama T-shirt.
Are you kidding me? Oh my!
I want to remind you that on the back it says, "Excuse me, whilst the coldest white boy in the game speaks a little Nippon Go tonight."
This is such. Do you think that Walker just pitched this one himself? Because who else could have come up with this
I will
shirt?
be wearing this the next time I see you, Jack. I might wear this to your wedding shower. I might introduce, Sarah's family members while wearing this shirt now. I saw it, and I actually think it's such a hilarious shirt that I could get away with it. But,
I think that you couldn't.
What's funny is this style of shirt for sure was, the wear about 10 years ago to, white boy rappers, It's just so funny. It's so funny that I had to buy it. And I almost didn't tell you because I wanted to just turn on my camera, but I was 90% sure my camera wouldn't work whenever I got the shirt.
You should have waited until I saw you with it in person.
You're going to forget, and then I'm just going to roll up with it.
Holy fuck. I haven't checked House of Torture's merch page in a minute. This Darkness Era and Castle of Torture shirt, those are pretty good.
I didn't see those. I have to look.
I'm looking at Evil's specific wrestler page. I don't think it's on the House of... I think the whole Tokon shop is just a mess. But that one's good. There's an Evil one that's Hiroshi, Hiroshi Tanahashi's retirement tour parody that says "Final Death, Forever Darkness," and that's pretty good. Tanahashi Torture Retirement Memorial. I might get that one. That's pretty good. Are these not all on sale though?
They should. Most of them should be. It should just be you click on it, and then basically when you put it in the chart, you'll be able to tell.
Okay. So the Evil 10th anniversary.
Oh, goodness.
See you next fucking time is there. Okay, that's a really good
What'd you
shirt.
see, Cooper?
The Lion Mark varsity jacket has gone from $175 to $125.
Wow.
Guys, House of Torture makes me so mad. Actually, I love them so much, but even the acts that I don't love as much get amazing shirts. Look at how good this Show and Doki shirt is. Did you see this one,
Logan? Are you sending in the chat?
Yeah,
Send in the chat.
Fuck yes. This is so sick. They the best merch in
Yeah, that's pretty sick. That's why I always loved the IWGP. I almost went back and got the Scapegoat one, but I was like, I love that one. I can get by wearing that in my house.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get the
that's
the
pretty
Champion
awesome.
of Darkness one with Evil holding the IWGP.
Yeah, that's. I just saw the Gabe Kid one again.
Get a white boy. The worst part is he actually had good. Well, my thing was Gabe Kid has some shirt designs that I do like, but I'm I can't wear those.
Not many.
Okay, but I can't wear those when he leaves. But that's why the Ken Sama one's gonna be even more ironic now.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, that King of Japan shirt that Gabe Kid had for the longest. Oof.
Dude, I can't believe he's dead ass probably gonna leave after this year. It's so crazy. It's so ridiculous. It finally came out. I don't know if y'all knew this. I knew this for a minute because of, well, actually I don't want to say, because they're in hot water right now. The JCast guys are being assholes. But I did know that Gabe was dating Willow for a long time, but I didn't know that it wasn't a known thing until recently.
Whoa, dating who?
Gabe and Willow are together.
Nightingale?
Because of... Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Did you know this, Cooper?
So
I don't want this shirt anymore.
Here's the thing. I had heard this, right? And I feel uncomfortable speculating about wrestlers' personal lives.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
As we've said. But I did know at least that last year Willow Nightingale was in a relationship with some other indie wrestler or whatever, some guy whose name I don't know. Which maybe that has ended, and maybe she's started this new thing with Gabe Kidd. I've not seen whatever thing it is, that people are saying is evidence that she is in a relationship with Gabe Kidd. But if that's the case, more power to them. I'm happy for them regardless, I guess.
I wonder what she thinks.
I just don't know that that's true.
Yeah.
It might not be true. You're right.
Yeah.
It was it really was as simple as she took a photo with someone on the Eve show, a selfie with one of the Joshi wrestlers on the Eve show, and they had like Gabe on FaceTime too on the thing, and people were like, "Oh, that means the rumors were always true." I guess that's technically not true. They're probably just
I mean that's
close.
anything, but I mean maybe whatever. I don't care.
Maybe who
Good
cares?
for them.
I was only saying it because it was like, oh, Gabe's going to America. That reminds me of all the reasons people have said.
Sure,
to America, which is being in a relationship there.
I don't care about wrestlers' personal lives, but if that's true, I don't want this shirt anymore. No, maybe I should have got the King of Bars shirt instead of getting the freaking Gabe Kidd. I love too that he has
that shirt.
He has the Lion Mark King of Japan shirt with his face on it as one of his shirts.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
There's multiple King of Japan ones, so that's the problem.
Yeah. No, the one with his bad cartoon face on it.
Yeah. I want to get the
looking like the Boss Baby.
I want to get the retro Lion Mark one. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm. Like the regular ass Lion Mark?
Well, no, the one with it's a Lion Mark, but with it's the blue around the King of Sport.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Here, I'll send it into the. They have the goat wearing it, Goto, in the back. Goat. Let me see if I can send that into the disc. But yeah, I will say this: I think most of New Japan design are, on average, the best designs for wrestlers of like the.
I actually was. Yeah, I agree.
But that
they've got good T-shirts.
That's the T-shirt I would have gotten.
Oh, that is cool.
I just like that design. Did I tell you, Jack?
Yeah.
We've been talking. Me and Cooper. I told Cooper this when we were on the phone about DPW, but I was thinking of getting tattoos, and because there's a guy in Auburn that's like an apprenticeship, so it'd be cheaper. I'd just basically tip him. And I was thinking about getting the Lion Mark, but I wouldn't get it colored in, so it'd be the Bad News Lion Mark just tattooed on my body at all times.
That's funny. You should do that.
Yeah, sorry for going on that tangent, but let's actually get back to Japanese pro wrestling for a second.
Well, I like talking about merch.
Merch is good.
Cool. Yes, so obviously a ton of news happened in New Japan this week, or about a week and a half since we last recorded. We are well on the road to Wrestle Kingdom now. Before we get to that, I think we should start with something a little lighter, and I was going to run down the World Tag lineup.
Yay! I've always said I'm going to watch the G1, but I'm serious. I'm going to watch all of World Tag League.
Yeah!
When does it start?
20th.
Okay.
So in 10 days.
I got time.
It's going to be 19th is Purge Night of Torture, and then we go right into November 20th.
Is that a pay-per-view or is that free?
It's like a doubleheader.
Purge Night.
I don't know. I have no idea.
There's no way you're not going to not pay for it knowing you. So
No, that's the one pay-per-view I'm definitely going to buy this year. So y'all will be able to watch it. Oh, fuck yeah. No, it costs money, but I will pay for Purge Night of Torture, I swear. Anyways, in A block for World Tag League this year, we'll go down the list. Bishamon returned. Well, I guess not returning because it's a consecutive thing, but when I was those singles running, they're teaming in World Tag League for the first time since it's the first time they've been a tag team in a minute. So we got that. 2021, 2022, and 2023 winners. That's pretty special, and Goto's still hot, so that's a fun team to have. We don't have to mention the demon beside him.
That's the GOAT. That's the best part.
No. I just don't want to set the man off. We've got Oleg and Yano next. Second entry, second consecutive. Oleg's a little directionless after losing the title, so we'll see if he starts any feuds or anything before Wrestle Kingdom, or just ends up in the Rambo or something, or wins. God forbid.
With Yano!
Yeah, Yano in the thing. We've got a fun one right here. Probably the most fun one up next. Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji are teaming together as the unaffiliated Dogs tag team in World Tag League. I'm excited that Gabe can be sent off as the sidekick of the real Ace before he leaves.
I need suit
and takes all the pins.
Have we ever even seen Gabe wear the Coldest White Boy shirt on like a tour or anything like that?
No.
We need Tsuji to wear it. We need Tsuji to wear it.
Dude. Yeah. If someone wore that shirt on TV, I would be spamming that reaction image to
Gabe needs to, just one time before he goes, he needs to walk out in the kimono.
He should
and then take it off. For his
should wear that as his AEW debut shirt.
Yeah.
But it brings me joy that New Japan's greatest betrayer of the 21st century is going to go out pin eating for Tsuji and being a Flanderized version of himself. So that's something to look forward to.
Man, how he used to have it. I can't believe this.
I'm more excited. The Kid Omega match was great last year, but we'll talk about it later. I'm far more excited for this year. Next we've got Evil and Don Fale debut. A lot of people thought General's Jewel was going to reunite, but in fact they had something even more first for us that we will talk about.
Please tell me.
Instead, Evil is teaming.
I need the Evil Don Fale shirt because the only shirt they have is like the Crown, the Rogue Army shirts for. They still don't have a House of Torture shirt for Don Fale yet.
Last year they had that really cool one for him and Yujiro that was like.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm sure they'll do a fun design for them too. Then we got some sad news. Black Saints can't be in together this year because Ishii got injured facing Pac. I guess he got injured by that soft-ass lariat that Pac threw. No, really though, I don't remember what the actual thing was. But either way, it's not a total loss because they are replacing him with Kojima, who I still love, who rarely gets to do these round robins anymore, and who had a storyline with Taichi earlier this year in the G1 undercards where they kind of like were on the rocks because of, the old Kojima Goon stuff, and were able to reconcile. So it's not like this is best case scenario for someone being injured, someone who is beloved and can pull their weight and who has an actual reason for
exactly.
being. I'm fairly excited for them together, yeah. Then we've got a fucking crazy one. El Desperado, who already, never does World Tag League because he's a junior, and then he's teaming with world famous, freelancer, beloved journeyman Shuji Ishikawa, who I think is his first time in New Japan in a long time. Yeah, this is really, really cool.
You guys, how much Shuji Ishikawa you guys watched?
Little, very little.
I fucking love him so much.
Put us on, bro.
I'll send you guys a playlist. Don't you test me.
5-match primer that we will go over on the show next week. How about that?
This dude, at this stage in his career, he doesn't give a fuck anymore. But he is just so cool. I can't even tell you how happy I was to hear that Desperado was apparently fiending for this and that he got it. And yes, I do think it is his very first time in a New Japan ring.
Yeah, it seems to be another example of Despy just sort of doing random indie shit and then becoming really close friends with a guy, because he did like a tag match with Ishikawa on the other side recently, and I think that's really all that ended up happening. He's like, this guy's cool. I want to be in Tag League. bring in my boy, you know?
Yeah. He's like a bigger Kukai.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
That's not true at all. No, but I'm saying like in his relationship.
No,
to
you mean
Despy.
in the relationship to
Yeah,
Despy.
yeah.
No, sure.
Yeah.
I ended up liking Kukai. I hope he sticks around. Next we got Shingo and Drilla teaming up in another odd couple pairing with the unaffiliated. This is really one of the most interesting things happening in New Japan. It probably is the most interesting. I like this a lot. We can talk more about it later.
Yeah, Shingo was the one who requested it, right?
Shingo wanted it to be Drilla because of, earning his respect over the course of the year and shit. Should be good. I like them both fine, even with recent things that one of the two members have said on their Instagram.
This could literally be about either of them. So
Oh no,
I think so.
Did we not talk? We don't have to talk about politics on the podcast.
Okay, so I know which one this is about then. Okay, yeah.
I don't know what Drilla
I just
did on his Instagram.
Yes, but I don't know. He seems like a volatile personality, but
he's British.
Yeah.
He's British.
yeah. But Shingo, I mean, the real Dragon Gate heads know. So
no, true. We've got next the absolute team from hell, the Tokyo Pimp and the Lone Star Outlaw teaming up for fucking World Tag League. I am going to watch these matches. I have to, because this is like my hobby. This is what I do. But I'm gonna have the biggest frown on my face during every single one of these matches.
This is your main outlet now, wrestling. You used to watch WWE, but I don't even think you watch it anymore. This is it.
No, I've watched Nugent Stardom now.
Yeah, you watch Stardom. We need to talk Stardom more.
We should. We could talk about how Momo got fucked so hard on November.
Oh, 3rd. I did hear about that. I did hear.
Yeah.
But whatever the next big Stardom show is, we'll try to review that.
Yeah, well, it will be Queendom, so we can talk about it in conjunction with all the Wrestle Kingdom.
Think about it like this. Even though it's like the worst team ever, it's better because we have the worst team ever and the best team ever instead of two ant teams, Where
I agree.
Don Fale is free of the shackles that is Chase Owens, and Yujiro, who's been on a slide for a long, long, long time, finally can get in the gutter with Chase himself,
Yeah. Fair. What I really wanted was a Evil and Sonata reunion, but that wasn't in the cards for whatever reason.
Oh, that would have been so sick.
Maybe next year. I really wanted them.
To be fair, Don Fale and Evil is just the perfect tag team.
Yeah. And they've been tied together since Fale turned for the house, so it makes sense. I just really wanted to see that.
Sonata's too busy buying normal clothes.
I think also the main
least.
reason they didn't do Evil and Sonata is I feel like if Evil and Sonata they did do that, there was a good chance they would win Tag League, and that Evil's not going to win this year because he already has the Aaron Wolf match. So
yeah, that is a good point. That is kind of too powerful a team for House of Torture. Like someone has to actually take a lot of. I'm not even kidding. Those are two upper mid carders, and for House of Torture, you want a guy who can
and a historic tag team who's won Tag League before, right? If I'm mistaken.
Yeah, no, they were like them and God were the main top tag team of that peak era, so that's why I wanted to see it. I thought it'd be fun for them as heels to reunite.
If Aaron Wolf.
Like you said, though, he's got the Aaron Wolf thing.
If Aaron Wolf does win the never open weight gold medal, then I do think they should run Evil and Sonata versus Knockout Brothers. That'd be so fun.
That'd be a really fun match. Oh, that'd be awesome. I love thinking about that. Speaking of, at the top of B Block, we do have the Knockout Brothers debut entry. Of course, they just came back at the G1, but they are already the IWGP Tag Team Champions. They are arguably the hottest act in New Japan. They have single-handedly made this World Tag League actually interesting because it's interesting to think who they will face at Wrestle Kingdom. So, good on them.
Let's get high.
Let's Get
Yeah,
high.
big ups. Fuck off.
Bomba clot.
Um, then we've got returning from last year, the only TMDK team that's allowed to be in New Japan anymore, ZSJ and Oiwa. I don't know why Mikey and Shane can't come around anymore. I guess it's just money, but it's sad.
Sucks.
Yeah, but these two are really good together as a team. I'm excited, and honestly, they might be in the running because, at least, I mean, I've been thinking a lot. Like the biggest stars in New Japan that have no clear route to Wrestle Kingdom right now are Zack and Goto and Finley, who have all had huge years, and I have no idea what they might be doing on the show. So maybe they might be Bishamon and TMDK might be front runners to win the league. Who knows? We'll have to wait, or maybe they'll do like a multi-man or something. We'll have to wait and see. Next, we've got an old strong favorite, and 2 years ago they were in Tag League 2. Archer and Alex Zane Monster Sauce, which I love these two. I missed them last year, and I love Archer, and I know he's in the Callis family now, but I don't think he's one of the more featured members, if I'm correct in saying that.
He is always
Archer.
Featured in the sense that he is always standing behind
whoever
is in a match, but he has rarely wrestled in a long time. So
sure. Well, I like him a lot. I'm always happy to see him around, and Zane is good too. He did that weird team with Taguchi in World Tag League last year. I don't know why he only ever shows up for Tag League. Who knows? He hardly wrestles at all anymore. He's kind of slowed down his career a ton. Anyways, moving on. We've got Tanahashi and ELP doing the tour. I cannot believe Tanahashi is doing World Tag League before he does his final match. That is insane to me, and I cannot believe,
bro. He's a beast.
Yeah, I'm not even joking, y'all. I am the biggest New Japan fan on earth, and I was on Discord the other day in my little servers, my New Japan servers, and someone brought up, they were like, I wonder if ELP and the TV championship will make it onto Wrestle Kingdom this year. And I swear to God, I don't think I have thought about the TV championship in months.
That might be what
I was like.
If Zack and Oiwa don't win, one of those two is fighting for the TV championship right there.
You're probably right. I totally forgot. I knew ELP was around. I know that he exists, but I forgot that this belt existed. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Shota and Yuya are in this year, debut entry, but they are a good established tag team now. These are my heart is telling me that they will be the winners and that they are going to run that match back. I think it was good enough and left enough on the table to run it back with the KOB, and I think it is the most exciting match to, just like the main event with Takeshi and Tsuji, to be like, hey, we're sending Hiroshi Tanahashi off, but these are our guys now, and have the really hot tag division with them again, and have maybe Umura and Umino win, or maybe have an angle with them at the end. Who knows? I just think that's the best option here.
I don't know about that, bro.
Y'all can disagree. Yeah, y'all can disagree.
I like Yuya. They just ran that match. I think the money is Bishamon. Like,
you're probably right, but I think they could do that at any point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Goto off the year he's had. Are you gonna keep him off? Like Rambo again? Like, especially I think establish the Knockout Brothers by having them win Tag League. Don't have them face in the finals. Have you can have Shota and Yuya beat the Knockout Brothers and get in the finals through that, lose, and then you can have that Bishamon match where they we want them to lose too, because again I want Goto to be a single star, but it's just a huge feather in the Knockout Brothers' hat and establish them more and more as this the team.
Yeah, I get that.
They could kill Yoda. They could kill Yoshihashi. Cooper just doesn't care.
Yeah. He's tired of it. Just like I'm tired when y'all bring up Jay or anything like that.
Bring up who?
Wait, when we bring up what?
Jay.
Oh,
Okay, sure.
um. Anyways, up next we've got the most fun and unique of the unaffiliated dogs team up this year. We've got, if you could believe it, so much has happened this year. It's hard to remember. We've got returning defending champion Hiromu Takahashi and David Finlay, the Savage King, the Rebel Savior, the Goat
Boss
Slayer,
dog.
the Boss Dog. Yeah, I love Finlay, and I think this is going to be a really fun team. Him and Hiromu actually have like low key beef. It's kind of a kept to the preview tags mostly, but they do have beef from a while back. I think they had like one singles match on a Korakuen or something, and they've kind of kept that long running. So this will be fun. I think they'll get. I think they'll be a fun team. I really do. Then we've got we've got Okan and Callum Newman, and now I can tell y'all finally Newman is doing shit for real. On November 2nd at the Tanahashi retirement show, Callum Newman. Yeah, he's been leaning heel since the G1. I don't. Y'all can still hear me, right? You just be quiet. Okay,
Yes.
sure. Since the G1, Newman has been leaning heel, being a lot more abrasive. Some have called it like because he's taken on the Prince nickname and he took on the Bloody Sunday as his finisher. But he's not happy-go-lucky Osprey clone anymore. He is a firm, like absolute prick frat sort of guy, and he's a lot. He's finding himself in this character for sure. On November 2nd at the Tanahashi retirement or the Tanahashi Gifu farewell show, he was in an undercard tag with some unaffiliated dog folk, and the Knockout Brothers were in that, and he picked a serious fight with the KOB. He got up in their face and was kicking them hard as shit, and he was matching their energy basically. He was kind of being like how they are, and being a total shithead, and trying to provoke Yuto, especially saying like Walker was trying to work a angle on commentary where he basically was like, I heard earlier that Yuto said backstage that he was the best fighter in New Japan and that nobody could beat him in a straight-up fist fight. And so Newman was basically trying to throw down like street fight style on the outside of the ring the whole time. It was a lot of fun. It was exciting. Then they took to backstage comments, and Newman let Okan and Templario say their just sort of pleasantries first. He was like, you guys go ahead. And then he, just laying down on the ground, looking totally defeated, he was like, what he basically said was, listen, I know that United Empire fucking sucks. He said, we all know it, and there's no use, like, lying about it anymore. And he was like, so New Japan, I want you to send me to Dragon Gate, send me to AEW, send me to Ring of Honor, send me anywhere. Let me do anything because I don't want to suck.
That's
basically
incredible.
what he said. Yeah, and it was really good and interesting. And I thought it might just be Newman voicing his legit frustrations and kind of going off the cuff like you're pretty much allowed to do in New Japan promos. And I'm sure that was part of it. But no, it seems like it's a real thing that they're trying to do to develop Newman, because at the next show, at this Anjo show that Ice vs Tanahashi happened at, Newman said some more first he like more in the ring, he beat the shit out of Tiger Mask and Hanma, and then he pinned Hanma and then kept on beating up Hanma after the match. And JAY and Okan even looked kind of uncomfortable with it, so I don't think it's something with the whole Empire trying to do. I think it's something with Newman specifically. He said in backstage comments then that he's seen the rise and fall of United Empire since he was a young boy. He saw Ospreay leave him alone and leave him to sort of flounder there by himself. He saw Cobb leave for WWE. He saw Hanare hurt himself, and Akira just recently get injured too. And he said, and the bullshit with TJP, and he basically said the Empire, has fallen brick by brick, and I'm sure what everyone expects me to do is to pick those pieces up brick by brick and build them back. But what I'm going to do is take those bricks and just start smashing everyone's fucking head in with them because he's angry. So that should be interesting. Newman seems like he does not care for United Empire anymore, but he is teaming with Okan still in Tag League, so we'll see what happens there. I have no idea where this is going, but it low-key is actually interesting.
Yeah, the way that you described that, I would be very interested to see whether or not Okan gets on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he has traditionally been like, you know, all of United Empire are kind of like tweeners to a degree, but like, you know, he is a crowd favorite. He clearly has a lot of fun in his matches. You know, he was Mr. King of Pro Wrestling, you know, for however long.
Right.
So like, I don't know, maybe seeing like a return to like that original stage of Okan, where like they were trying to genuinely kind of like push him as a monster. I don't know, that could be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with Callum as that, yeah, sort of like, you know, like Devonish, like sort of like, you know, terrorist, little, ringleader. So
that is very interesting.
I'll send you all the promos later on. It actually is. He's coming across really well. I'm pretty excited to see where it goes.
I feel like it's gonna go nowhere.
I
mean, where do you even slot Newman?
Well, here's what I was going to say. The reason that I have hope that it might be leading somewhere is because I have hope, which also might be misguided. This might also be hope, that the unaffiliated Bullet Club stuff is leading somewhere and will lead to some 5th or maybe 6th Bullet Club reincarnation after all the OGs, Connors, and Kid leave. I think he might end up being a part of that. So that's my big fantasy booking crackhead coping.
Well,
that's the reason it might actually be
before
something.
we leave World Tag League, I'm disappointed.
Well, actually, we have Narita and
Sonata. Oh, yeah, Narita and Sonata. I'm disappointed, though.
So we can just say, yeah, Narita
I'm disappointed the two teams weren't letting in. Obviously, TMDK. But where are the Good Brothers?
Oh, my God. The resurrection
hurt.
of the Good Brothers.
Yeah. I think. Isn't Carl Anderson hurt?
No. He is wrestling in Thanksgiving weekend after at WrestleCade. You will never guess the team that they are wrestling.
You're right, and I'm not going to
Bro
try,
Dito.
So you should just tell me.
The Good
Holy
Brothers
shit.
versus Bro Dito in North Carolina, the WrestleCade weekend. I just saw this graphic and I was like, there is no... I was hoping it was the same weekend.
Y'all want to go to North Carolina?
Yes! Yes! It's... No, I'll actually be in Auburn that weekend, so, but,
oh, sweet.
But, yeah, no. Dude, unironically, like, I was hoping it'd be a couple weeks, like, around the same time as DPW. I'm like, we might have to make a pit stop, boys. Dude, insane. Or at first, because, you know, they're, like, Gallows is in Georgia. I was like, maybe this is in, like the Atlanta area. If it was, I would be pulling up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for World Tag League. It sounds fun this year.
It does sound like a more interesting year than normal. Probably just because of what I said before. Like, it is actually interesting to think about who the hottest act in the company will face. Mm-hmm. So that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But I think some of the teams are a little more interesting than normal. We're at least not getting like Tanahashi and fucking Jado like we did last year. So that's something to be happy about. Obviously, the main story for Wrestle King for New Japan this year is the slow build to Wrestle Kingdom that's happened since Final Homecoming. We got a lot of press conferences. We got a lot of angles. I'll start sort of with the less to say ones, and then we can get to the actual big 3 matches that are on the board now. There's that Junior 4-Way that I told you all about yesterday for the number 1 contendership, which is weird. But anyways, there will be a junior heavyweight four-way for the number 2 division of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. It'll be Desperado versus Ishimori versus Fujita versus Doki's Emissary and Show. It should be good. It'll be a good match. The weird thing is that Doki is not in the match. I figure that Doki will have another match, but who the fuck knows with New Japan 2025? Alright, it's only 2026 by then being a lot.
Yeah.
I think maybe he might have been facing Hiromu, and then we get just make the double title matches be a theme running across the show. That could be fun. Speaking of double title matches, we've got unifying, actually, something that maybe we'll see a lot more of coming soon. The New Japan Strong Women's Championship is finally being sort of subsumed into the IWGP Women's Championship, whereas the current champion, possibly the biggest star in Japan right now, they couldn't leave her off the Tokyo Dome card with how big a year she's had. Saya Kamitani defending, or I guess not defend, they're both defending their respective titles. Sayuri is the woman on the other side of the ring. That one should be a lot of fun. I don't know how their styles will clash because they are very different wrestlers, but it should be a spectacle.
Yeah, I'm sure that they have fought each other before. It would be weird if they didn't. But yeah, I mean, Shuri is I'm more concerned about Shuri here and her very cement style of wrestling going against Saya. So
yeah, and Saya's only got more over the top and melodramatic, obviously, since she turned this new leaf. So
yeah,
who knows what it'll look like. I honestly think it'll be a really exciting match on the card. I hope that the crowd is hot for Saya. The 45.
I hope they give them time.
Yeah, I'd hope so too. We'll have to wait and see. We've got Evil versus Aaron Wolf still, which was the first match made official for Wrestle Kingdom, but since then it has been made official for the Never Openweight Championship. Now this presser was one of the more fun ones. Evil's whole thing through this feud so far has been to sort of trash on Aaron Wolf's Olympian background, his judo background, his gold medalist status, and basically say that none of that matters in pro wrestling. He took it so far as to come out to this presser with a gold can of spray paint and spray all over the Never Openweight Championship, even over part of the strap, and say that the Never Openweight Championship is the only gold medal that matters in pro wrestling, and he is the only true gold medalist in pro wrestling.
That's so good. I cannot tell you how much I love Evil.
It's so good, dude. This is the best he's been in a long time. He's always good, but he's just been on his total best shithousery behavior in this feud. It's so good. And Wolf has actually been, because since he's doing the whole respectable being a young lion for a little bit before debuting, he's always ringside, and they're going with this storyline where he's basically, he's the one person who's finally said, I can't stand y'all ever cheating at anything, and I will be there to stop you every time you try it. And that has been true basically since King of Pro Wrestling. Every time Wolf's been ringside for an Evil match, he has been keeping him from doing that stuff, and it's been fun to see. Evil said also in the presser that if Aaron Wolf doesn't respect him for fighting dirty, then that means that he doesn't respect the champions of pro wrestling, and so he has no respect for New Japan Pro Wrestling and no respect for professional wrestling.
He's kind of got him. I mean, yeah. Can't refuse that logic.
Yeah, no doubt. Then we've got one of the really great matches that were made official. just like I speculated earlier on a few weeks ago, we are going for the double title, the double gold dash to the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Konosuke Takeshita versus the IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji for all the gold in the Tokyo Dome on 1.4. Guys, I'm really
And this episode has been
this.
blocked in
Bros, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited. I'm really on the edge of my seat, but I'm really excited about this one. I cannot think of a better world title match that they could have gone for this year. I'm beaming with excitement.
As somebody who has been, a little more disconnected from New Japan as of late, but has really, really been into Yoda specifically and what he's been doing. Man, I hope for their sake that they know what they're doing here.
Me too. That's what makes it so exciting, though.
It's so teed up,
it's
but
a genuinely tense match. Like, who knows whether or not they'll go with the obvious decision because it's New Japan in 2025.
Yeah.
The way this match happened, like the build to it throughout the night was really cool because so first off, it's cool because Takeshita, after winning at King of Pro Wrestling, he basically teed up Tsuji to challenge him there. He was like, anyone in the back, anyone that has beef with me, any young guy that wants to match me, come out. But Goto came out first, and he was talked about being disappointed, so it was a little teaser like, oh, who does he want to face him? But Tsuji wanted to face Tanahashi first, and you understand why after the match. He beats Tanahashi in what's really actually one of the better and more emotional matches of the final road tour. Y'all can talk about that if you want. I really love that match.
Yeah, I thought it was really solid. You can go ahead, Coop.
Well, are we talking about Tana and Yuto?
Yeah. Because I don't want to just not talk about the matches.
No, yeah, I really loved it. They had been, it was the only thing that they talked about with Yuto Ice for like a solid month after he debuted.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Tsuji.
Yeah, I heard Yoda instead of Yuta. Sorry.
He fucked up the the pronunciation.
Fuck. Okay.
But no.
Okay. So the
final homecoming
Tsuji versus Tana.
Oh yes. I really enjoyed that as well.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, I mean Tana. When he gets in these spots and the stars and moon are in alignment, and the pro wrestling gods of old bless him to move his knees again. He is like nothing else. And you saw it in the Takeshita match at Windy City Riot way back when. That is still for me is like the epitome of this last run of his. And Tsuji, I think, also brought out that same energy, that same fire in him. And even the spots that I have kind of gotten a little sick of on this last road, the missed high fly flow into whatever his opponent's finish is, and then he'll get up into the proper one and hit it finally. Even those that I think have become a little trite on the road twos and the undercard pay-per-view matches, here it becomes something a little more, because I don't know, this felt the most like, and maybe with the benefit of the Tsuji Takeshita announcement, this felt the most like a passing of the torch.
Yeah, absolutely. my favorite bit. This was a great, just like classic, fun mark out moment. um, my favorite bit in the match was where Tana hit that classic like quick slap on Tsuji that's knocked out so many wrestlers over the years, and Tsuji was able to totally just tank it and no sell it, and then he goes for that big wind up headbutt that he does with the hair flip and everything, and it nailed Tana and got such a big pop, and it made me smile. I was like, oh man, he's the guy now. They love him. After the match, there were heartfelt moments, and this goes to what you just said, Cooper. Tsuji basically took the mic and he said, after this match, I'm paraphrasing a little bit because normally New Japan promos are a lot more long-winded and less scripted. But basically what Tsuji said was, after this match, Tanahashi, now you can retire peacefully knowing that New Japan is safe in my hands. And Tanahashi seemed satisfied with that. There was the whole story that was going into this match of how Tsuji got into wrestling literally just because Tanahashi found him like riding the same bullet train someday, and he was like, you've got the build to be a pro wrestler, you should be a pro wrestler. And such a fun like fate kind of moment. And then we went into the Takeshita Goto match, which was also, very good. Another very good defense for Takeshita. And it was fun seeing Goto get this chance after that injury and everything, and being the main player for New Japan for the first half of the year. He had a really good one. He had to show respect after. I admittedly was struggling to stay up for this one only because I actually did watch this one live. And the reason I watched this one live is because I fucking thought they were going to announce the opponent at this one, and then they screwed me over again. So I felt cheated, but I didn't feel that cheated because of what happened after. Tsuji, emboldened by defeating the Ace, by declaring that, like he said, New Japan is mine to watch over now. He decides that it's his time. He goes out and he says, Takeshita, I want to challenge you at the Tokyo Dome. And Takeshita says, that's, fine by me. But if you want to do that, you need to put something up on the line too. And so that'll be the white belt. Both are on the line. So fucking exciting. Takeshita is saying, in the build, he's like, with 2 belts, I don't intend to unify. I intend to be the fighting champion I am and defend them both. Maybe show up in New Japan a little more because I've got to have both belts.
Yeah.
Tsuji,
sorry, I cut you off. You gone.
I was just going to say, and Tsuji on the opposite end, to my surprise, they're going with the storyline he's been trying to push for the past, it feels like since he debuted, he's still committed to it. He says, when I win the championship, I'm going to bring back the heavyweight title lineage, and New Japan will finally be, kind of healed from this great illness that is that has happened since Kota
that is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah,
Kota cursed the company,
yeah, and he cursed himself.
And he's got to undo the curse.
Yeah. Yeah, I really dug this, and I really loved that Goto match. I thought it was really solid, and like the way that I think Walker and I'm forgetting Charlton, I thought they sold it very well. Of like Goto's dream of like being able to do it again and the sophomore slump and all that stuff, and like really working on those big moves for Goto to feel like there might be a chance. I really obviously this is the match. This is the match we've been talking about. We needed Tsuji challenging for the title, no matter who was going to be the champ, and a lot of people have been down on Takeshita, but me and Cooper, we're big head. We the dub, baby. We rocking with Takeshita. But this is
I'm not even down on Takeshita for now, at least.
The
I'm
thing
really
is,
not.
he's doing great performances. He's just not be able to do the tour.
He's doing great. He's doing great performances, and low key, people overstate Takeshita as a part timer. Like he is actually there for every,
He
not
did two
pay-per-view,
G1.
pay-per-view
Yeah.
level show.
Yeah.
He did the
Yeah.
G1. He has been there for not even before he was world champion. When he was never champion, he's there for every
Yeah.
pay-per-view level show. I'm not upset about Takeshita. I want him to stick around for next year and many years to come. I think he will. I think as long as Takeshita wants to wrestle, he'll want to wrestle in Japan, and I think as long as he wants to wrestle in Japan, New Japan will want him to wrestle for them. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. I'm excited for two reasons. One, there is the fear of like, yes, they've set up the game winning field goal drive. They got it down on the, the 5-yard line. They got like a crotch shot to kick it in, and they're just gonna squib it to the side and have Takeshita retain and double champ. And like I understand that fear too, because you have the Okada match looming and like having him. But the thing is, I do feel like they're gonna kick it in, and I feel like this is only, and especially with the Okada announcement, which we're about to get to, it only makes it more interesting because Tsuji has also been pitching him versus Okada, and so if you do have Tsuji win in the main or probably right before the semi-main, and then him coming out to confront Okada after beating Tana, I think, or if Tana somehow wins and you have Okada walking backstage and you have him and Tsuji confrontation with a double champ after that, I feel like either or of those is going to be that's a money match down the line,
Sure.
And especially, I mean, you saw how big that Okada pop was, and
yeah. I'm not going to decry Okada at all, except for like funny games. I'll spoil that a little bit.
Yeah, you know what's good for you.
Okay. I want to talk. Y'all feel free to say what you want because I don't want to just ramble on and on. But I do want to say a little more about Tsuji. Some stuff that's been on my mind lately. First off, I want to say this about this match at Wrestle Kingdom. I want to say, in wrestling, you always got to strike when the iron's hot. And I'll say this. I'm realizing that's a non sequitur. I use a lot just now. But Tsuji, the iron was hot when he debuted 3 years ago. And
Yeah,
then
I
the
feel like-
iron was hot when he faced Naito after winning the New Japan Cup, and then the iron was hot for the G1 final last year. And it's been hot a lot, and it's not going to be hot forever. That's all I'll say. Like, no matter how beloved a wrestler is, there's only so many times you can put them in big spots and lose. Like, the Global Championship win was a big deal, but it's not a big enough deal. It's not a G1 final or a World Heavyweight. It's not a G1 win or a World Heavyweight Championship win. That's just the truth. The more times you lose, less and less people are going to believe in you, and eventually you can very easily become a Hiroki Goto yourself. And we don't want that to happen with
to use a more recent example, you can become a Shota Umino.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Shota, yeah. He's had to totally rehabilitate his image this year because after the last match, people just straight up did not take him seriously anymore at all.
And, like, you're not going to get a main event scene appearance from him for a while.
Yeah, no doubt. And, here's the other thing I wanted to say. Because it's actually like meaningful to me as a New Japan fan. Tsuji has been my guy since he returned at that Dontaku show and put Sonata on, flat on his back. That was on actually my birthday that year, so it's even more special to me, funnily enough. Tsuji is not generational, he's not a guy that came in and was immediately best in the world tier, like, a Kazuchika Okada. So it's hard to compare him to the last ace. He was not that guy. But here's something I will say about Tsuji that has gone unnoticed by people who only watch New Japan for, G1 and Dominion Wrestle Kingdom. This is something that I have noticed as someone who has watched him consistently become probably my favorite wrestler in the world over the past 3 years. Tsuji is a guy that has genuinely worked on every flaw that he had coming in, and his work, like, he has so much depth to his game over the course of these past few years, especially this last year as a global heavyweight champion. Like, he has actually worked on all his flaws. He worked on, his stamina was something people said, like, oh, he gets gassed, and he worked on that, and it's really not so true anymore. People said his pacing was off. He was just a big moves guy. And so he worked these technical matches with Yuya, and he's become a guy who can, like, dictate the pace of a match, who isn't just a guy that is great when he's in the ring with other great wrestlers. His character has become more well-defined. He's taken the reins of, sort of unaffiliated War Dogs alliance, and actually is, like, at the head of a storyline that's popular right now. And he's not going to be the poster boy, like, incredible athletic ace figure like it was. He might not even be like a Tanahashi was, but he is the guy right now. That's undeniable. He's worked so hard to get to this level. I'm really happy for the guy. I think he deserves to be made.
Yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you. I feel like people forget how hot he was initially.
Yeah.
That Dontaku thing. Like, I was in my little apartment when that happened, and watching it on the same laptop that I'm talking to you with now.
Yeah.
And I felt it. Like, I felt, oh, okay, no, this is something that we're working with here. But yeah, I mean, my experience with New Japan over the past 3-4 years has felt like a series of Charlie Brown attempting to kick the football. And for the first time in a while, it really, like, even when I went to Japan to go and see their show, I did not feel like I didn't have that sense of optimism for it, really.
Sure.
And this is kind of the first time in a while that there's a real possibility that there might be something for it.
Yeah, we should say that real quick, actually, before we move on to the final match and probably the last segment of the show. This Wrestle Kingdom, because of Tanahashi's retirement, is going to draw an amazing number, probably 40,000 plus. It's already at 35, I think. They announced 31, and then people saw another surge after the Okada announcement. So a ton of people are going to be there. It's going to be broadcast on TV in Japan, so a ton of people are going to be watching at home, and I feel the same way in the Western fan sphere. I feel like people are genuinely incredibly excited for this Wrestle Kingdom the way they haven't been probably since the peak era.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really exciting to me. The thought that this could really be. Oh, 1 second, I'm relocating. Like, it feels like there's a chance to really shift gears and start anew, like Cooper said. It feels like we could really be turning the tide if they played. I'm really happy.
Yeah,
But they have to do the right thing.
It's a very exciting time, to say the least. But yeah, before we go on, we gotta get to the Yuto Ice match now.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We got.
Are you messing with
I want
me,
to
weren't
get
you?
high, man.
Okay.
I am not messing with you. I am kidding. This is
this match rocked.
It was really good. Yuto's great.
Yuto's a dude's rock wrestler.
Yes.
I want to say that right now.
The build to this match was that Yuto said, he said this actually since he was a young lion, so it's probably true. He said that when he was in high school in Gifu, or I think he might have been even younger than high school. But basically,
I think have like Charlton and Walker. I think have always said it's like high school age. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he said that he first learned about wrestling when he heard someone talking about Hiroshi Tanahashi and Yuto, who was a sort of tough guy in a bad part of town legitimately in real life, was like, you think I could you think I could take that guy? And his friend was apparently like, no, Tanahashi would kick your ass. And so Yuto said that he joined New Japan wanting to prove that he could beat Tanahashi's ass for real. And that's why the match happened. He did not win, but I think he proved that he can kick Tanahashi's ass. He's the real deal. And then after the match, in his hometown on his birthday, for the first time in 2 years, or a little bit less than 2 years, the Rainmaker made his presence felt in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He came out with Gato. I can't remember what Gato's nickname was when he was with Okada, so sorry. I was going to say that, but I totally forgot. But he was wearing the bandana over his eyes, and he was doing the fucking, make it rain hand stuff. Okada had the shirt on, the stupid fucking black button down that he wore when he looked like a goober when he first challenged Tanahashi, but he looked like
$1 million today.
Yeah, he looked amazing. Yeah. And yeah, it's set. Okada said basically it can't be anyone else, and there were rumors about Nakamura, there were rumors about Naito, but I think at the end of the day, Cooper was right. This is as good as any, and I don't want to get into all the drama and bullshit, stupid, maybe fake rumors. I just want to talk about the match. I'm very excited about.
I do want to get into.
Okay, of course, you always do.
For only one thing.
Okay.
I think it's true. And I think it's based as hell that it
That's
did.
what I thought. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Wait, what do you...
And I don't think that's...
What rumor?
There are rumors. Okay, so the JCast leakers who always leak this shit in New Japan basically been... Okay, Joel. His name is Joel. And the guys that I follow, subscribe to, they said basically that Tony Khan was the guy that stopped them from trying to go further. Or not, he didn't stop them, in the sense that he has veto power, but he basically...
He stopped them from signing a fucking bum. Bum-ass bum.
He basically...
being the Ace's final opponent.
Yeah. He basically... the rumor is that they were genuinely really pretty close to getting Nakamura to do this, and TK heavily dissuaded them from doing it. And it didn't end up happening, and now it's Okada. That's the rumor. And I think Cooper is right. I think it is probably legit in some way. I don't think it's like that Tony Khan can just tell them not to do something. But New Japan's always been very, respectful of their partners. And I don't think it's even that... I know this sounds crazy coming from me, the all-in New Japan guy, but I don't think it's that crazy for AEW to ask New Japan to not work with their, big rival in America, since they do actually give a lot to them.
I mean, yeah.
No bits here. Being legit for a second. I imagine the extent of this was just them checking in with Tony after they had thought of it. After they had, I don't even know if they had reached out to Nakamura yet. But they had probably had the idea. Somebody in the office said, "Oh, well, he is with WWE, so we might need to check on that." And then they call Tony, and they're like, "Hey, if we did this, would that be cool?" And Tony was like, "Probably not really, because they have been fucking with me a lot currently.
But do it if you want to.
And then they probably were like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's probably about what
and
it is.
I doubt Tony would have ever said, like, no, you shouldn't do that, don't do that, or we're not going to be partners. He's probably have been like, I'd rather you not. Like,
yeah.
and the thing is, too, like, in the long run, I know how much it would have been sweet to see Tana and Nakamura have that match one more time. But I think the Okada match is better in the long run because you can then run Okada and Tsuji. And, like,
You're right, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I do think it's going to happen.
I just don't.
And Okada's going to
maybe we will.
Gonna eat the pin for Tsuji.
Win.
No, he's going to eat the pin.
Dude.
He's going to lay down. He may be... Worst case scenario, they do a long program where he wins the first time, and then he ends up losing to Tsuji eventually. There is no way that he just wins and then Tsuji never gets his win back. Like, I think it'll be... He can finally get that moment you wanted, Jack, where the old star gives...
I would love it.
And that would give more legitimacy to help New Japan in the long run than Nakamura coming back for a one-off and then beating Tana, because he would.
I would love for them to do a Tsuji versus Okada match with a real passing the torch thing. I just so doubt it. But I'll be optimistic. I'm optimistic about this Wrestle Kingdom in general. I'm pretty happy with the way things are shaping up. So who the fuck knows?
How do you feel about Okada being like, we should let the fans vote on who should be the main event?
I think Okada has learned from spending so much time around Naito over the course of his career the art of getting people as riled up as possible by saying as little as possible. And I'm really enjoying him taking that to heart during this build so far.
I'm enjoying him taking
I think it's very funny. Yeah, I think it's funny that the story, the big story coming out of the... Genuinely, actually, I saw someone say this, and I think it's probably true, that Okada saw an opportunity to shift the narrative online from, oh man, like, it sucks that it's Okada and not some other people that I was excited about, into, I really hope Okada doesn't do his shitty AEW character in the match. So that is that's Okada's big threat that he's made in the presser. He said, when I show up, it's not going to be like an Anjo. It will actually be me doing terrible bits and heel work and middle fingers and low blows, and I'll come out to the terrible Curiosity song, and nobody will like it, and then I'll leave after rolling him up and win. That was the thing.
You will go to Rainmaker Drive.
Let me see specifics. He said, okay. So I want to quote him directly because it was really funny. He said, or there's a translation, I won't be the old Rainmaker from New Japan. I might be the AEW Rainmaker. In AEW, I'm really doing whatever I want, so I might just hit Tanahashi with a low blow, roll him up, and send everyone home crying.
Wonderful. Absolutely masterful work.
Then he went to Twitter to, post pure poetry. See you in the Tokyo Dome, bitches. I think it's really funny because I like that in New Japan, he's not a heel just because he's a cheesy American heel. It's because he's like, it's a threat that instead of being the good Okada, he will be the shitty American heel.
He could be good if he wanted to.
But he's not. So I think I like that.
He will be House of Torture Okada.
I will be a little pissed if that is actually what happens, but I think it's pretty clear that he is messing with people, and he will be mostly putting, his working boots on and his emotional boots on too.
I will say, you are getting at least one middle finger Rainmaker spot.
No doubt.
That might be it, though. That might be it. But you are getting
the only
it.
problem I'm seeing with Okada is he's going to be doing the C2 all the way up until Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, yeah. But Tanahashi's going to be doing World Tag League.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll both be pretty tired. Except Tanahashi's never tired, so scratch
Well,
that.
my main thing was I think it would be really funny if he does do full heel like normal Okada, if they had him join the House of Torture and just do more bollocks.
Just for one night.
Just for one night.
Imagine, if you will, I'm sorry, I love you, bitch.
I'm just saying, imagine if Tana's final match was Bloodline Rule style with House of Torture run-ins and then all of Hantai and the baby faces running in to stop the House of Torture and Tana getting that big victory over Okada, which is probably not going to happen. But
Yeah. Tanahashi actually was also, I really liked their presser in general because Tanahashi said something I liked. He said that he knows most wrestlers go out on their back at their retirement match, but that he knows that he wants to beat Okada one last time. And he said he wants the money rain to fall on January 4th, but then he wants the sun to come out at bell time and for him to come out as the victor. And I really enjoyed that. So I'll be rooting for Tana harder than I ever have before. I hope that he can pull off one last miracle, and I be in tears seeing one of the greatest legends in all of pro wrestling history hang his boots up on January 4th this year.
Before we quit this New Japan talk, I did want to say that when I was looking at T-shirts, almost as a bit, the other shirt I almost bought was Gato's podcast Junkyard Radio, just so I could wear the. Have you not seen this? Gato has a podcast, and his podcast is a shirt. And you can buy the shirt on Tokon's shop. And it says Gato's Podcast, Junkyard Radio with Gato's face on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I mean, if I was booking a promotion, I'd have a link to this podcast too.
That's true. Logan's Podcast, Strongest Style, with the logo.
Right.
I think it's funny how they did like a WWE Heyman Lesnar situation where Gato and Okada are just boys again off screen.
Yeah, right.
Like,
baby, you my
what they talked about.
You are.
I know.
All I think of is the I think of the Goto edit and the Ishii edit when I think of Gato and Okada together. I think of them getting In-N-Out burgers. Well.
Actually, before we leave New Japan for good, I've got one more question. What do y'all think should main event the show?
It's gotta be Okada.
Like legitimately.
Yeah, I mean that's what you sold the house on.
Yeah,
I think sadly, as much as I am genuinely like a Noah Phillips, like it should always be the heavyweight championship at the end sort of guy, but I've started to think that honestly putting the retirement match on the semi-main would do them more of a disservice than anything. I think the crowd would be dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
for
think
sure.
Okada made
I think they'd just be burned out. Yeah.
Such a dick way he put it. He was genuinely right in saying that, like, if you put that in the main event and people bought, I mean, because again, it's not like, okay, tickets were close to last year. I mean, it is doubled what we've had in previous years because it's Tana's retirement. If you put the main belt, if you put the IWGP in the main event, there will be people who will leave early, and they will be be emotionally spent from the main thing they came for, because Tana will be retired at that point. There'll be, there's going to be a big speech afterwards. If he wins or loses, you can have Tana close the show. And that's why, as much as I would like to see the two young guys main event, this is just not like. It would be booking malpractice to throw those two guys out there after Tana's retirement. No matter how great of a match they would have,
Yeah, that's absolutely 100% true. I will add a caveat, though, to my belief that Tana and Okada should main event it, which I am still holding firm to. But there was a point that was raised on the last edition of the Voices of Wrestling podcast, the flagship, which I listened to quite a bit. And, I sometimes agree with those guys on some things. I very often disagree with them on a lot of other things. But one thing that I am very much in agreement on them with is that no matter what comes up from this show, if the main talking point, really, if the main talking point of Wrestle Kingdom 20 is Tanahashi's retirement, then the show has been a failure.
Yeah.
Like, if we're not talking about Tsuji or Aaron Wolf or, these things for the future, it can't be just the let's all celebrate Tanahashi moment, as much as I might want it to be, but realistically, for the future health of that company, it can't be, right? Those two specifically, Wolf, Tsuji, are like the must hits for them, I think.
No doubt.
So that's kind of how I'm feeling.
I agree. Tsuji and Takeshita need to go out there and have one of the better matches we've seen on a Wrestle Kingdom card in a really long time, and I think they have it in them. I think they've had great matches before, and
for sure.
that's all I want to see.
And I agree on those points, and I would like them to main event. It's just like at this point when you've sold that many tickets and the first poster is Tana front and center with all of his history, and they're selling sodas with all of Tana's G1 moments and IWGP title wins, and you can win free tickets. It's like it's at this moment that like if it's not Tana, as much as I do think though, no matter what, the biggest talking point will be Tana's retirement, but I'm hoping that everything else also gets talked about a well amount, because I just don't think as big as it's gotten. It's like if you put Cena's retirement, if they didn't build Cena's retirement show around just that, like if they would have just thrown it on a random pay-per-view, that's all people would be talking about would be Cena's retirement at this point.
Yeah. I think the best way to do it is to have that go on last, and then to have Tanahashi kind of bring Tsuji and like some other young guys out there after, and really spend a good portion of his retirement speech propping them up and being like, please support these guys. These are my guys now, and have Tsuji be like the locker room leader sending him off. I think it'd be a sweet moment.
100%. And again, if you do have that moment and you bring the locker room out, win or lose after Tana's retirement, and you have Okada walking to the back, you can build that future match right there. It just doesn't take a lot, just a stare down, But like, I think you have whatever you want to do, win or lose. You have time to come out, and you just bring out all of Hontai, and you have Tsuji directly behind him, in front and center, right behind Tana, and have him, put him over. I still think you get plenty of people talking about the other stuff, but I mean, it's like with the last couple years. I mean, I love Kenny, and I've loved all the Kenny matches that we've gotten, but every time Kenny was on the show and he was in that semi-main event, it has hurt the actual main event. With the Gabe match
no, that's true.
And with the
Ospreay.
the Ospreay and the Switchblade versus the Switchblade and Okada. And it's like, if Kenny does that on that scale, imagine what that's going to do for the Tana match. The Tana.
Right.
So, yeah. It's the only thing that can main event at this point. But I watched some other Japanese promotions this week.
Oh shoot! I forgot about that.
I know. I was gonna let you ramble. It'll be really quick. Mr.
No, you're good. Thanks for giving me my time.
Mr. Smack Daddy Yoshiki Inamura won the GHC Heavyweight Championship against Kenta in a pretty good match. And now I'm getting Noah tweets on my feed where someone was like, he's here to be Mr. Noah. He's wearing all green like Misawa or something like that. It's Japanese tweets.
Like Misawa.
The commentators for Noah were like Irish. They were very weird. Both.
Okay. So, as somebody who's watched a fair number of Noah shows in English, that is Scott Fulton, I think, who is Scottish. Or no, Mark Fulton. No, god damn it. Something Fulton. He's the Scottish one. He's got the deep voice. Yes. And then Mark Pickering, who is Welsh, has the high-pitched voice that gets really annoying after a while.
But this was fun. It was 18 minutes. It wasn't too long. Stuart Fulton. That's it. Kenta has really rolled back the years, so it's very fun. The crowd is very behind Inamura, which is pretty nice. And
do you think they were very behind Hank and Tank earlier?
I did not watch that match, and nor do I plan on watching it. It was funny because I was
probably they're just like Stan Hansen. They're like two Stan Hansens.
I like looking at which is funny because even on Wrestle Universe, Inamura's render is him in full cowboy outfit. Like every other wrestler is like just them shirtless, and Inamura's like cowboy and all this stuff. Mr. Smack Daddy is such a stupid nickname.
It's the most wonderful nickname. I don't know what you're talking about.
It is funny that this is what got him to the main event after like 1,700 excursions. It's the Mr. Smack Daddy.
Yeah, and two different names.
Yeah, Yoshi, the Progress Atlas champion. Yeah. How I found out he won the championship, because I saw you post that match, I forgot about it. And how I found out he won the championship was Progress on Instagram being like, congrats to Yoshiki Inamura, also known as Yoshi. And I was like, why are you bringing this back up? But it was a good match. It was fun. And then I watched the secret hand controlling New Japan Pro Wrestling, known as Dramatic Dream Team DDT. I watched 3 DDT matches this week, one of them involving our IWGP champion in a singles match. First, I watched Chris Brooks versus Zack Sabre Jr. on, I forget what their...
It's called Ultimate Party.
Yep. I didn't have time to watch the catch the tag on that match, so I skipped it. But this is very fun. It was full DDT bollocks, where they had a point where Zack was going to pin Chris, and the ref couldn't hit the 3 because he remembered all the good times he had with Chris, and they did the heart emoji to only then later on in the match do the same thing with Antonio Hanma, which is now my profile picture. They had a slideshow of good times that him and Zack Sabre Jr. had together, and so they couldn't do interference against them. But I like the build of this match. Also, DDT also has some very bad English commentators. I don't know if you haven't watched DDT recently, but like they sound very young. They might be like Walker's age too.
Yeah, I barely watch any DDT, and especially not any really in English. So
I didn't know it was in English until I clicked on it, and I'm like, oh, they have English commentary. But like, because at one point they mentioned that Chris was trained by Zack, and that he looked up to him, and that he used to take pictures of him on his digital camera and send it to him on MySpace. And the commentator's like, yeah, we don't know what that is, or didn't really have that. And I'm like, that's like what I would say, but I also wouldn't say that if I was commentating. They were like full taking the bollocks like the whole time. Like it was like if we were commentating like
that stuff makes me so mad.
They sounded so young. I'm very interested, but they were very good in the main event. They just were not good in this match, which I mean, it is kind of a bollocks match anyway. They were having a little fun, and then when they got in the actual finishing stretch, it was very, very, very good. With Zack and Chris, it's going to be very good. The whole storyline behind this one was that Chris feels like he will never be better than Zack, but if he can beat him once, then he is equal to him on his best day, and that's because he sees Zack as like the best ever, the guy who trained him and stuff like that. This was a match of love. But then the main event, which was for the DDT Universal and the KOD Heavyweight title, Minoru Suzuki versus Yuki Ueno. This has been going the rounds on Twitter, and this was awesome. You should. I need to send you guys. You might already have it, Coop, from last time, my Wrestle Universe login, because Suzuki is just the best here. I mean, like, it's full main event. They just let him destroy Ueno's limbs. I did think the finish fell a little flat for me. Even I thought the commentators were pretty solid this match, and then they just dropped the ball at the end. They were like, oh, that's it. I'm like, you never say that on commentary. You never go, that's it. Because he basically won with, like, a frog splash. But, like, they had the crowd is really behind it. You know, I'm not the biggest Ueno fan, but I am pronouncing that right?
Ueno.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ueno.
But I thought Suzuki got the best out of him. And I dug the limb work in this match, and Suzuki being the old crazy bastard as he always is, and really able to get, because again, like, and they really, because like a lot of it, they sold a lot of like the Pancrase stuff over, and they were like, this is the move that they banned from Pancrase because Suzuki kept breaking people's legs, so they wouldn't allow him to use it, and I was like, that's such a nice touch. And then, this was like a full-on straight match. There was no comedy to it. And then I ended it on the most comedic match, which was on there. It's a wonderful day or wonderful party show right after Ultimate Party. Antonio Honda versus Konosuke Takeshita with the IWGP belt walking out for the entrance. And Honda and Takeshita used to be in a faction together. I don't remember the name. And so that was like, they played the match very straight at the start. Like, Honda came out and was just completely straight-laced. He was like normally a completely comedic wrestler. And really tried to out-wrestle Takeshita. And then once he realized he could not out-wrestle Takeshita, that's when the full comedy started. Like, in the middle of the match, he started doing a promo. I was like, I don't understand it. They didn't have any commentary for this either, so I'm like, I'm going in blind on what he's saying here. And they this was straight up. When you were saying earlier where Callum wanted to see if he could knock out Yuto, this match was only punches, I swear to God, by the end of it. All they were doing was trying to throw the worst work punches you will ever see at each other, and it was kind of beast. But yeah, this is very fun, and Takeshita obviously won with the Brainbuster and the Raging Fire, because he can't lose unless Honda was going to throw a wrench into the Wrestle Kingdom plans. What would you feel about that if Tsuji had to face another DDT guy other than Takeshita? They just let him win the title.
I don't know, Logan. I can't have a response for everything.
Come
I'm
on,
sorry.
bro.
I don't know what I'd do if Antonio Honda was in the manager of Wrestle Kingdom. I just don't know. I just don't know.
That's part of me that, like, because I wish DDT would just be like, I think Takeshita might go. Takeshita, I don't think would, but it is funny to imagine a reality where he's like, yeah, I'll just lose the IWGP title in DDT and not tell New Japan about it, and he just loses to anybody on that. Like, any person on that roster would be funny. Even if you pick a serious guy like Uno, like, it's just funny imagining him.
It's still, it's still funny.
Yeah, what was I going to say earlier when you were talking about people bringing in, I was something about Tag League. I forgot it. Who cares? It's late. I think it's time. Yeah, it's time to wrap this thing up.
Good night, fellas.
3, 2, 1. Thank you for listening to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. That has been it for us this week, but we will be back next week with another couple hours of rousing wrestling content. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow me at @LoganHurston. You can follow Jack at AverageDarth. Cooper doesn't have any social media, but Cooper, any last words?
I will be the final New Japan Strong champion.
You can follow us on all your podcast players, including Spotify, Apple, any of the above. We will see you guys later. Goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang!